bunch of fucking nerds. Oh, by the way, one of my friends watched my stream the other day, and they were like, "Wow, you're so mean to chat." I'm not helping my cause here. Anyway, I just like how, like, I just tell chat not to do something, and they just do it immediately, right? Look at Discord. Look at the announcements in Discord. Look at you fucking nerds, right? You don't even just do it. You don't even just do it on the message that I sent. You do it on the follow-up message. I mean, look at that. Look at you. They're going up right now. You fucking nerds. Anyway, back to the pre-stream. What is up, everybody? Alright, time to do a little bit of Grail Front nonsense. You're hoarding them? I am not. That is bullshit. Get that out of here, Lost. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Alrighty. Man, I wish this event was literally anything else, but well, I say that, but then it'd be like, you know, Summer 3 or whatever, and that's not much better, but, not been a fan of the Grail Fronts. They were very boring. Alright, we got main story. Is it just main story? Is there no filler one? Okay, whatever. You know what though? I'll take that 3 million QP. I'm alright with that bit. Next event should be Lost Belt 3 locked. Yeah, it could be Jufu or something like that. That'd be cool. Or Jifu, or however the hell you say it. I was talking to Cairo last night, we were just memeing about like if they added PvP, but I was thinking about it, I don't actually really have that many units that would be good in PvP. Like, there'd be a few units that would probably end up being good in PvP that people aren't going to predict because the meta would get really weird, but it's obviously going to be units with big batteries, pierce invulnerability, buff removal resistance, right? That's clearly going to be the meta. You know, stuff like Castoria, right, that charge stuff is still going to be good. But yeah, units like Ivan, right? Ivan's really good because, especially if Ivan has his passive. If you have Ivan with his battery passive, and then you have his buff quest, so he has the 30% battery, that's 50%. Now you could bring like the Attila craft essence, so you have, you can turn 1 NP, and then you can, have pierce invulnerability all the time, and then he has his buff removal and shit like that. There's so many stupid things you can do with Ivan because of the AoE buff removal and just big damage. But the only unit I can think of that I have that would actually be good in PvP is Tesla. Because Tesla has Guts, and I think Guts is good because it gets around pierce invulnerability. He has damage up, he has battery, he has pierce invulnerability, and for 3 turns. So Tesla is the one unit I have that is like pretty good. But he's not in P5 or anything. But yeah, Ku would be suck. Ku would be garbage in PvP. Everyone's going to be using buff removal and pierce invulnerability, and then AoE is way better than single target for the most part. So there's really, like, he wouldn't really. His Guts, it's the only good thing. Like, if you happen to fight someone that doesn't have pierce invulnerability or you know, buff removal, then Ku's fine. But that's not going to be common. I mean, like, how are you not going to fight people with pierce invulnerability? There's so many easily obtainable pierce invulnerability craft essences. It's like it's going to be so much bullshit like that. Like, it's Guts and Murder, right? I don't think Panda Lancer would be very good. She doesn't do any damage. I think she's good if she's 120. Like if she was 120, because then she just does so much normal card damage. And obviously you might fight some opponents that are 120, but they'd be rare. So she'd have higher stats than most things you're gonna face. So if you had a 2k Fode, Faux Pod, 120, got her passives, then she's okay, because she does have like the right utility, but her damage is kind of low, so. But yeah, the meta would just be so fucking dumb. Alright, I see the triple Valkyries there, and there's even more elephants this time. Yeah, they're still using the same CE. That's an okay CE, I think. I think I'm getting confused with something else, actually. But I see what they did there. That has the Valkyries on it. She has a lot of CEs to pick from, I think. Okay, Robin is on your side, I see. Alright, chest there, chest there, chest there. Is there no bonus servant? Yeah, I guess not. It's just the, no, I see, Tomoe is the bonus one. So she's 85k. That's still so low. They need to have like 200k or something like that. I see what they did there. Does anyone else see what they did here? I see exactly what they did here. Oh, anyone in chat know what's going on here? Because I see something very clear that they did here. They do this with them all the time. Alright, what about them now? They're, kind of weird they don't show the attack stat. I actually forget. Yeah, 64, 65, 66, and then slightly more HP. So like, stage 3 is the strongest one. They always do stuff like that with them. Alright, I could solo this, like, no problem. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we use Ku, because we have a Saber. But I kind of want to, at some point, just go ham. Like, just bring a bullshit team. Like, bring my strong stuff. Just cuz. Like, bring Mordred, aggro all 3 Valkyrie, and kill them all at the same time, that kind of thing. But we'll do a Ku solo. That's fun. Alright, let me go give them command codes. It'd be fun to fight a Saber. That'll actually be tough. Actually, while we're out here, I can actually look at what... Okay, so Tesla would be good in PvP. Mordred would not. Billy would not. Heinous, not really. Fergus could be okay. Yeah, Fergus could be alright in PvP. That's about it. Maybe Scaz, but oh, Percival. Percival's kind of good too. He's not like amazing. Like Ivan and stuff like that's better. Yeah, Tesla is the one thing I have that would be strong. But compared to somebody that's gonna have like a full team that's all really strong, like honestly, I think I would have a pretty hard time in PvP. I just don't have most of the stuff that would be good. But even if I did have the stuff that would be good, I don't want PvP in this game because this game is just so not balanced for that. Okay, command codes. Let's see, for fighting a Saber, I actually might go with flat damage. Is 1,000 enough damage to even matter though when they have 85k? I mean, it's alright. Wait, hold on. Actually, we might get more than 1,000 damage out of a 20% damage up, even though we're being counterclassed. It was kind of just like that. Caligula's NP is kind of funny, but it's just so much better if you could kill the opponent instead of nerfing them like that. Unless they introduce some really wacky stuff, the PvP would just be so paper cannon-y. The only way to survive would be guts and like buff removal resistance. Like, there's gonna be so much like Amakusa, K-Scope, or Ivan, you know, shit like that. But anyone that has buff removal resistance could be potentially really good. Especially if they have guts. Okay, well, Star Bomb is pretty standard for Ku, because it really boosts your crit chance after the NP. I got overconfident and destroyed in the third fight. That sounds like I should get overconfident then and like not bring a good team. Then maybe we'll have a good time. Maybe bring like, you know, 3 stars. I don't know if I want to do 1 stars again. That was pretty crap. Let's see, did our opponents have any survivability? Yes, Valkyrie does. I actually forget. Does Tomoe have survivability? I have to look this up. Like Summer Tomoe. What does she have? Right, taking guts, can't do anything about that. Because guts, that's good. Okay, no need for fearsome vulnerability or anything like that. You know, Nightingale Archer, let me look at that. I was thinking about her the other day. I didn't look into it in depth. Let's see, Nightingale Archer. I know she has buff removal resistance, but I think it's only one turn, which is not the best. She does have guts, and it's even targetable. That won't matter much, but that's something. And then she has buff removal resistance for... Oh, it's 3 turns. Yeah, okay. It comes. Let's see. She's AoE, which is meta. She probably needs to be grailed or something. I don't know if she'd do enough damage, but actually, yeah, Nightingale would probably be a really good free-to-play unit because she's, you know, welfare. If you missed her, then too bad. But yeah, actually, she would be pretty good for PvP. She's got buff removal, not very good buff removal. She only removes 1 buff, so that could get screwed over. But that's, yeah, wow. No, yeah, Nightingale's really good. Yeah, if they, I can pretty much guarantee you, if they added PvP for free-to-play people that happen to have her, she's a must level up. Like, if you wanted to, like, she's way too good. She's got AoE, guts, buff removal resistance, and that's way too good. So as long as she's strong enough to do good damage, she'd be really good. Yeah, Roland would be okay. Roland would be okay. Ivan is better. Ivan is like basically him, but better at everything. But yeah, Roland would be alright. God, the meta would just be so cancer. Like, it'd just be so fast and stupid. Alright, we'll go double flat damage. I do feel like, though, even against a Saber, I'll do more damage with 20%, but this is just kind of a fun, silly thing to do. I mean, there's games where PvP is not cancer. I say there's plenty of games where PvP is good. The thing is, generally when PvP is a good part of a game, it's because it was designed with PvP, at least in mind. Maybe not as its primary objective, but there's at least, you know, groundwork for PvP. There's no groundwork for PvP in this game. It's an asymmetrical game. I'm not even sure how so many people haven't realized that. Somehow they have not realized when they're fighting Guadia that he's not using the same toolkit as them. He has way more health, but he has way lower attack stat, right? The way their NPs work is different, the way their skills work is different. This game is fundamentally asymmetrical, right? So trying to make a balanced PvP is just completely impossible. And it's weird though, it's because like the opponents have like a semblance of like how you play the game, so it makes people kind of forget that it's so asymmetrical. Like this game is just not built for any kind of, you know, symmetrical PvP. The best you could do would be an asymmetrical PvP, right? Where like a player controls a boss, right? And like you have gimmicks and stuff, right? That kind of thing could work, especially if it's in like a casual setting. I think that could be fine. But other than that, I don't see any way for them to do PvP that would make any sense. But that doesn't stop them. I mean, so many games are like that, where you have like fundamentally flawed systems for PvP. Man, Robin is way more of a bro than Liz. Like, look at this. He's out of the way, blocks the master, and I don't have to like use Robin for the actual fight. Where Liz, it was like you either had to babysit her super hard and screw yourself over, or she had to fight a bunch, if you like it or not. Although I guess they did that because Robin is also being attacked by a swarm of geese, which counterclass him, so that's not ideal. So the shitty thing is, the meta thing for me to do is not move. That's really dumb though, because then it's gonna get Robin involved, but I could maybe bait them so they go for the master, but like moving up is really bad for me. So if I wait, then Robin's gonna get involved. This is where like spawning in one of these other spots would have been a lot better, but Lancer spawned way out here. I guess they want your Lancer to go like that, but that's completely unnecessary. We don't need offense and defense. Okay, let's see here. Although the moon cell gimmick is like kind of cool, right? for this mode. It's aesthetically very boring, and I definitely prefer the backgrounds that are like castles and shit. So now, if I move up, I'm pretty so what I could do... Now, the only way I could get Robin out of the combat is if I moved him right here, but then the Master would get wrecked. I know of Record of Ragnarok, but I don't really know that much about it. I'm not played it or read it or any of that. I'm aware it exists though. Yeah, I could definitely see them intentionally adding characters that were aimed at whatever the meta developed into to make money, and it would work. It would absolutely work. Dude, I'm telling you, if they added PvP, even if it was crap, right? Almost all the big boy whales are going to do it and try to show off, and they'll try to act like they're being ironic about it, but they're still going to do it, and like abso-fucking-lutely. Like, and that's all over Diablo Immortal and shit, and they're gonna wail on everything that would give them an advantage in PvP, and they're gonna make videos and blah 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 blah, like, absolutely. Man, I really dislike this situation with Robin, but I don't think I can do anything about it, so... Well, I guess it's a duo with our boy Robin. I mean, he's a pretty cool guy, so... Alright, I want to at least deck one of them in the schnoz. Probably the yellow one, because she's in front. Ku got a Brave Chain, that's good. We'll do the attack up. You know what? We're going to do the other attack up, because I'm not going to need it for a really long time. Man, I haven't used Robin in ages, and he's awesome, and like I really like his characterization and whatnot. He's really cool. I wish he got more screen time. And in a non-joke way. Normally when you get screen time, he's a gag. He deserves better. Can I kill with just 2 cards? Maybe, but it's probably better to just grab the kill to be sure. The thing is, like, I have no reason to want to get into the PvP in FGO. Because, like, I know it would be bad, I know it would be pay to win, I know, like, it's just terrible for the community. And if I want to get into PvP, I'll just play a different game. Right? I have the urge to do PvP all the time, but I just don't play a fighting game, or even Dark Souls for God's sakes, or, you know, whatever, right? The games that are actually designed for PvP are so much more satisfying. You know, like, fundamentally, when people want to PvP and stuff like this, it's because they're trying to... They want to be, like, in an elite status without having to actually be, like, good. That's, like, the whole thing. Like, because the barrier to entry is money, or time played, and not actually being good. Like, that's what a lot of MMOs are. Even if they're not pay to win, a big part of, like, the barrier to entry is just an insane amount of time, right? To grind all the best stuff and blah, 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 blah. And that cuts out a lot of competition, right? So your other competition is other people that grind it a lot, not necessarily other people that are actually good at the game. Where when you look at, and there's a degree of that in any game, right? Even a fighting game, there's a degree of like practice to just memorize your combos and stuff that actually don't have a lot to do with skill, right? That's not really got to do with like knowing when to do what and when to block, when to mix up, right? It doesn't. It's kind of arbitrary, but that's still way easier to accomplish than like grinding in an MMO, or, you know, even if you meta slaved an FGO for PvP as a free to play, and so you made sure you rolled your SQ on units that made sense, and you made sure to 10-10-10 everything. Like, you could be a free to play in PvP and FGO and get pretty powerful, but it would require an incredibly long time, right? It'd be so grindy. You can't just get into it, because like in a fighting game, you can literally get into it, grind for maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, maybe a week if you're not so good at fighting games, right? And then be at least decently competitive, and then it comes down to like actually being good at the game, right? There's no way you could get into FGO and in a week be like PvP viable with whales and people that have been playing for a really long time. Like, good fucking luck. That fundamentally kind of shows what the game is about and why I'm not interested. Like, how could I be interested in that when I have the ability to go play a fighting game if I wanted to, right? Or a shooter, right? There's all kinds of PvP games out there. I like how they're kind of just throwing their corpses into me right now. Robin's over here just tanking damage for us. Well, there goes one of his health bars, but it went to good use. I guess I just cast this, like, why not? I can probably do 40k here. This time for sure, yeah. See, I'll come from the left. They won't see me come from the left. They sure tried, though. I mean, I really stand by this. I think the only way you can make good PvP in FGO is if it's asymmetrical. I fundamentally do not think there's a way to do symmetrical PvP that's going to be good. I mean, you can do it, it'll just be bad. Okay, let's see here. We will, I guess, fire everything. I guess NP this one, and then I think we go for a 3 of a kind bonus and see if that's enough to do 40k. Chat, Ku's really balanced. To 112k at neutral there. We didn't have a Mystic Code buff or anything. But see, like, here's an example of why Ku wouldn't be anything special in PvP, right? Imagine if in PvE, every enemy had Pierce Invulnerability and buff removal and had their NP on turn 1. Because that's basically what PvP is, right? And it's kind of easy to see in that context why, like, not even Ku, but just so many units would be pretty pointless. I need to move Robin up, but then he's going to be in the combat again. But, fuck it, he's already been in the fight, so, yeah, I want to move the Master that way, so they're out of the danger zone. Yeah, we could Robin NP, that's kind of fun. Even if Ku had battery, he wouldn't be anything special, because he's single target. He doesn't have buff removal, he doesn't have, he has sure hit, but obviously Pierce Invulnerability is the way to go. The one thing that'd be good about Ku is Guts, right? Because buff removal is not so common that you can't get some value out of Guts, but... alright, we don't have Robin's first skill, but, you know what? I'm pretty sure we can just NP anyway. I mean, Ku just about did it with the Buster card, so... But with the old system, actually, the first player to attack would be at a disadvantage, and that's why they changed the movement system. That's entirely why. Because the only way you'd be able to be advantaged if you went first before is if you were standing right next to the opponent and you could attack them twice. Because let me explain something. If you have to move and then attack, right? So we're talking about the old system, right? We'll talk about the new system in a second. But the way the system was, if you had to move and attack, and you only had enough actions to attack once, which is pretty much how it would always be, because your opponent would be smart enough to not place their units in a position where you could move and double attack them, right? They just wouldn't do that, because that'd be a huge mistake. So your opponent is pretty much always going to move in a way where your only option is to move and be able to attack them once tops, right? Like, or potentially not be able to attack at all. And then, so let's say you go first, though. So you move, you attack, you go first, and you one-shot them. Boom, you took out the first health bar. So now you have a health bar and they don't. Great. But your turn, you can't do anything. Now it's their turn, and you're right next to them. They get to, now they attack you, and boom, they got rid of your health bar. And guess what? They get to go again, because they didn't move. And boom, they killed you, right? That is like the whole reason why you couldn't do PvP with the way Grail Front was before, because that would be the entire. I am not kidding. I looked at that system pretty thoroughly. That is the whole game, right? The way you could move around and like try to stay out of each other's zoning, right? That would be the whole fucking game, is trying to force the other person to initiate that first attack, only be able to attack once, and then you get to counterattack twice. That's the whole fucking game. And then it's so easy to one-shot each other. That's it, right? And now they've changed it, right? So it's almost impossible to attack twice, right? And now it's the opposite though, right? It's still pretty much the same problem, but now it's the opposite, because you can almost always only attack once unless you approach on an assassin and the assassin doesn't have to move, and then the assassin can attack twice. Aside from that, right, if you can move and attack once, you pretty much always should, as long as you can one-shot them. And if you can't one-shot them, your team is bad, right? It's just straight up, your team is bad if you can't just one-shot someone. So now the meta is like the opposite, where if you go first, now you do have a massive fucking advantage. Unless they're an assassin, which is funny because if they allow you to bring any class you want, that means bringing a bunch of assassins is actually super fucking meta. And then you just need to, but then the meta then would be a bunch of casters to counter, right? It'd just be so fucking stupid like that. So the system just doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't work for PvP. Like, it's way too easy to one-shot each other, and then so it all comes to be about spacing on the board, which that's not great. Well, I'm kind of still forced to use Robin because the thing is, it is so hard not to use the servant they give you because they bum rush the master, and so you can't. Your master doesn't move fast enough to get away, so you kind of have you have to keep the servant around, otherwise your master's gonna die, and then you can't get them away from your servant, and so then they're tagging along in like all the fights. So it kind of sucks like that. Yeah, they might limit you to one class. They might do that. Who knows how they're gonna handle that stuff. I'm not actually sure I heal here because it would lower my damage, and I still have PFA, so I think we just punch her in the face. Yeah, the flat damage is definitely not as much as a 20% damage up on these enemies, but I'm not sure on a Saber. On a Saber, it'd be really close. I don't think they really could make it more interesting. That's what I'm saying. It's like, with the way the combat system in this game works, I really don't think you could make it more interesting. By the way, if I had not moved Robin there, they absolutely would attack my master. They couldn't kill him, so it wouldn't amount to anything, but... Well, they kind of dispelled their own death there. Okay, I no longer have my attack up, so I can move away. Do this first for the stars. Shame I didn't get like a Buster card because then I wouldn't have to use my NP. I do think though asymmetrical PvP could work, and I think that could be really fun actually. Because the bosses could dictate what's meta, right? If you're playing a boss or a few bosses together or whatever, right? That's gonna mix. It's not gonna always be necessarily battery, you know, buff removal, piercing vulnerability, right? You could make it so it's more varied than that. And if you're designing the boss's toolkit in mind, and you can take the asymmetrical elements into account. You know, like the boss being able to use skills more than once and things like that, and you can balance around that kind of thing. The hard part about doing asymmetrical PvP, though, now this is still way easier than doing symmetrical PvP, but the problem is the same as always for boss design. The difference between players that have insane options like Castoria, Nero Bride, Waver, you know, Veach, all that bullshit, you know, and then some super meta DPS. You know, your typical 3-turn challenge quest setups, right? The difference between, if you wanted to design a boss that's like can hold its own against that, it would be a boss that is way too powerful for a normal player. So you almost need to have like a difficulty setting, you know, like this, like the more someone wins on the player side, which would indicate that they probably have Castoria and crazy shit like that. And then you play as the boss and you're fighting someone that's got like a high rating or whatever, then you get to be a stronger version of the boss. right? That like is designed to fight something that ridiculous. Yeah, sure, you could do preset teams. The problem with preset teams, okay, I think it makes so much more sense to do a preset boss. Because like, oh, I get to be a boss and that's cool and you're okay with it, right? The problem with the preset on the player side is that really defeats the whole purpose of the game. Why are you collecting servants and powering them up and grailing your favorites? And like, why are you doing that if then you just use a preset, right? And presets can be fun if it's like a weekly thing, like how what is it, Hearthstone would have like a weekly boss brawl where like the two players played as two different bosses. But if it's static, it's obviously the meta is going to get so figured out that it won't be all that fun, right? So yeah, it's like it works in the short term, but not so much in the long term. I'm a little worried that they're going to come over and attack me. Because if they die, it ends the game. And normally they stick to their master, but if I'm right here, they might actually come up. What I need to do then is go here. I don't think they'll go up that far. Yeah, I suspect they won't do anything. I can move Robin over here, and that might get them to move. And I need to get that loot anyway. I'll just wait a minute, because Tomoe's an idiot and doesn't fight back. Oh. I didn't think they would do that. Fuck, I'm gonna miss the loot! Also, I'm gonna lose guts too because of that. God damn it, you stupid elephant. I don't know why they would do that. Like, what the fuck? I could hit Tomoe just for the lulz, but there's really no way we don't we have to kill the elephant, unfortunately. So I think I need a baiter with Robin if I want to actually fight Tomoe legit. Because if she dies, the game ends. Although maybe Tomoe has to die for the game to end. Yeah, maybe it is okay. If that's the case, then I should have just killed her first and then not fucked with Tomoe at all. Do I think I can do 85k to a Saber with my NP? I don't, but I'm gonna try it. I think we'll be close, and we might kill the attacks after. Oh, I don't have my NP. What am I thinking? Well, that's okay then. We can just kill her. I can just wait for the attacker to come back. In that case, though, I should heal because I'm not gonna need the low health boost. It's better to get that stuff on cooldown. Not that I need the attack up right now, considering I just Buster Critter for 42k. Really needed that one. I'm really glad she attacked 3 times. If she had only attacked twice or once, that'd have been really bad. Because then I couldn't recast PFA later. If I like waited out. Pretty good damage for fighting a Saber. Yeah, it's defensive going. I know the difference. Okay, so if I attack the elephant, unfortunately, that's probably why they moved forward. I'm gonna bring Tomoe in again, which is not ideal, but I can NP her this time. So I guess I should have saved the attack up then, because then I could attack up and that would definitely do 45k, and then I could target switch and probably finish her off. I could do Buster, NP Buster, but I doubt I'd do 55k with a Buster and an extra. So I guess we'll do quick, and if it doesn't kill Tomoe, oh well, right, it'll kill her with the follow-up attack. It's better than nothing. Wow, 55. Yep. This probably won't be enough though to pick up elephant here. Respectable, but not enough. That was a mistake. I should have killed the elephant over everything. Because then the elephant dies and I can't be attacked on my turn. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Not my smartest. It shouldn't matter. It just means I'm gonna have to like recover longer. Now Guts is gonna go off. I'm just worried that if I kill her, the game's going to end. Oh, fuck. I forgot they get 2 actions. I just threw. I just threw because I... Oh, wait, no, I have a health bar, too. Excuse me. Never mind. But yeah, it still was bad. I could have done this without losing a health bar if I just killed the elephant last turn. That's all I needed to do. But no, yeah, we're fine. We have a health bar. Forgot about that. Imagine getting a free health or free life like this. Double Guts, by the way. Yeah, I had a feeling the battle would end when that one dies, so I don't even know it was impossible for me to get the loot. Because I'm surprised the AI just came bolting out here like that. So the only way I'm gonna be able to get the loot is if I like distract that last elephant. That's really dumb. That's honestly super stupid. That makes it almost like so difficult to get that loot then. Because like that AI is just suicidal and just comes running out, and you have to attack. You don't have the option to not attack back. I'll try to bait him with Robin though, but that's weird that they'd walk out that far. Normally they don't do that. Okay, hold on, let's do that again. Or I could just bulldoze them. I can just bring a... I'm pretty confident that Ku can beat the Saber mano a mano. I think we showed that. Like, if I didn't have to deal with that, I'm pretty sure I could just pick the Saber to death. But what we'll do is we'll send someone in there to just bulldoze and grab the loot, and then we'll send the Lancer to get that loot. So we just have to try to keep, like, a Valkyrie alive for a little bit longer or something like that. Let's see... Oh, you're not allowed to bring an archer, but I mean, I have plenty of stuff that can kill her. Let's see, what's a fun one? Oh, we'll do Burgess. That's something we don't use too often. Obviously, command codes would help. I don't think I really need to bring another unit, but I will just for the sake of brevity. The whole double attack thing can be nice. Could do that. But the team cost is a little extreme. Alright, doesn't really matter what she has. Do that. We'll go see red, press red, I think. Alright, good enough. Yeah, Zigger's actually really funny because lost belt too. And actually, he's decent. He's decent for this. Got guts and all that. This is a filler event. They're doing this just so to buy themselves time. Oh, I see Robin does counter Tomoe, so I guess that's how you can do that. King Asan guarding the master. He could probably solo this stage, no problem. They're going for Ku. Boy, that's not a great idea. Yeah, good luck with that one. Although I guess their other option is Burgess, which that's not so great either. This time for sure. Yeah, they almost had it last time, guys. Look at the attack twice, though. Like, that's good. Not all bad for them. I guess I do the attack up just because I don't see any need for it anytime soon. Just get it on cooldown. And then I can do like quick or whatever. Yeah, big, juicy extra attack. Oh, thanks for the inting, because they'll hit me again and I'll kill the vanilla one for good. Lip is good. Lip is just not like a good unit for the typical you know, 3-turn meta. But I mean, that's not really how the game should be designed around anyway. So, but Lip's a really good utility tank, flash damage dealer. Actually, she's surprisingly good. There's some nasty challenge quests out there that Lip makes significantly easier. Guess I don't need my NP. Bonk him. Yeah, BB's buff was weird. Okay, this is the one good thing about BB's buff. When you NP, you only need 2 other cards to get a chain. And so if you wait to use BB's NP until BB has 2 cards, which is not hard to do, you can get the extra 10% battery, because it means they're going to extra attack no matter what. And that's a nice chunk of battery for the team. Like that's good. Like absolutely that's good. Now, still, it doesn't really matter enough to like, oh man, now in this situation where I wouldn't have brought BB before, I'm now going to bring BB, right? It's nothing like that, and you're still only going to bring her in situations you would have brought her for in the first place, which is very rarely, by the way. So yeah, it is not that big of a deal. She has a bit more damage, a little bit better utility for the team, but it's nothing that's going to like change the fact that she's niche as hell. It would be nice if Vlad Extra would get a buff. That would definitely be welcome. No need to buff. I can kind of just flip the cards. Yeah, I guess they never have done anything for Extra Vlad. He's never gotten a buff or animation update, etc., etc. Although his animations are fine, so I don't think that's a big deal. Man, they're just so suicidal in this mission. It's really difficult to do what you need to do here, because like we're already pretty much in a situation where these all have to die, and then this one will just run off and kill itself, so... Like stars, I suppose? Though that probably could have just saved DMP, but I don't see him needing it for anything in particular here. Well, it's not just lasagna. I mean, DW had started to spam battery buffs, but they seem to have realized that the only way to make a unit meta, like to be in like the meta of this game, and then thus make people thirsty to roll for it, is if they have battery. That's just the thing. It's so good that if you want people to get hype and roll for somebody, they need to have battery. So they just give battery to everyone, which is not a sustainable business model, by the way, but that doesn't seem to be stopping them. Oh, for sure, battery buffs do not fix every unit. I didn't say otherwise, but there's no denying that every unit is better with battery. And nice damage, Burgess! Anyway, and so for example, if you have a, let's say you have a unit that's not broken, you have a good unit with a good toolkit, and then another unit that's very similar to that unit, but they have a battery, the battery one is way better. That's a fucking fact, right? That's why everyone thinks Merlin is bad now, because he has less battery than everyone else. Now, obviously that's stupid, but like that's just where we're at. That's just how the game is. And the reason it's like that is because, see, battery needs to be weighted so differently than it was. Now, it's too late for them to fix this unless they started nerfing things. But if, like, look how Billy was back in the day, right? Billy was added a very long time ago. Back then, there was very little battery. And the battery is almost the only thing in Billy's kit because of it. Same for Lancer Artoria, right? They valued the 50% battery so highly there that the rest of their kit was weaker to compensate. And there weren't other units that also had those 50% batteries and then weren't weaker. But things just got out of hand, and they've just added units over time, and you know, things like Castoria and Scatty and all these things. And then they've added other DPS that have 50% batteries, or at least 30% batteries. and then they don't have those drawbacks that Lancer Artoria has and Billy has, etc., etc. And so then it makes it not valuable anymore. That's like the whole problem. If from the beginning they were always careful with battery and they only gave it to units and they balanced around it and they made sure they didn't make the unit too good, you know, aside from the battery. You don't give them everything, right? Don't give a unit, you know, hard survival, pierce invulnerability, giant battery, star bomb, right? Don't do that, right? But they did. They did do that. They did lots of that. They made loads of units that just randomly had massive battery and then a bunch of other, you know, really powerful effects. So then it made all these other units just shit, right? So you have all these units that would have like, because it was twofold, right? When they started making units that had batteries and a bunch of other effects, it made it so the other units that have batteries and not so strong other effects, it made them bad. But then it made the units that had those other effects that the new fancy battery unit has. And so it made the other units that had those effects but didn't have the battery, it also made them bad, right? So it's just a huge problem. So long story short, they slapped battery on units that absolutely should not have had battery, and now it set a standard where you basically have to have battery, because it doesn't matter if the unit's good without battery, because there is a unit out there now that is basically you, but has battery. So there's just no fixing it. There's literally no fixing it. It's even worse now because of the coin system. It makes the 30% batteries 50% batteries because you get the 20% passive. So now there's even more units that are like that, and it's broken. Like, it's literally just broken. And that's why they're giving battery to everything. It's a short-term fix. Now they're like, oh, well, we gave battery to stuff we shouldn't, so we give everything battery, so it's all equal now. But that's not sustainable. That's not even remotely sustainable. Yeah, Moriarty's a good example of what I'm talking about. He's got a big battery, but he paid for it. And back then that was fine, right? It was like a trade off all the goodies you got, but yeah, it's not worth it anymore. Not even close. The math is kind of wrong in Moriarty to begin with. And yeah, it's not... I agree, looping, it shouldn't be a thing. I wouldn't say period. I think looping is okay when it's like all they do. And I like the 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the 47 months. I really appreciate that. That's I know you're here all the time. I really appreciate you. What was I saying? Looping. Yeah, so looping isn't so bad when it's like it takes effort and it's like all the unit does and like there's sacrifice in order to do it. And it's rare. That's the main thing. You don't want it to be a common thing, right? When it's like a rare thing, oh, look at this wacky unit that can loop, right? Because you don't see that very often, right? Then it's I don't mind it. Right? Like way back in the day, the fact that in the right context, 100 face could loop. That's fine because that was really rare back then. And that was like 100 face's thing. Now even 100 face is a little broken, but you know, nothing's perfect here. But it's just so common now. Like looping is everywhere. It's the standard. Looping is literally the standard. Be it through a bunch of quick up and refunding off an NP, a bunch of art up refunding off an NP, or just raw battery spam, right? One way or the other, the standard absolutely is looping now, and yeah, it's dumb. This is going to be really obnoxious. I'm going to have to bait this. Basically, I should have swapped them around. Well, I mean, I guess Burgess can kill her decently quick, but this is going to be a problem. I mean, look, chat. Let me really. I had people in my chat the other day, or a couple of people in my chat, not that many, but there was, you know, disagreeing with me that like sometimes nerfing is necessary. They were in the, you know, always buff crowd. But let me give you a really clear example of why never nerfing is a problem. Look at Veach's toolkit. She gives you battery from using a Buster card. Does anyone see the problem with this? Like, does anyone see, like, that is so stupid. You literally designed the game originally around Buster cards not making NP, but they do way more damage. That was the point. Now we have it so Buster cards have to make NP because you have to be able to loop because everyone can loop. So now we have to make it so Buster can loop. Like, that is so stupid. Like, they literally had to find a way to make Buster loop when Busters are like fundamentally not supposed to loop, because that's what the game has just turned into, right? Like, it's just fucking stupid. Like, yeah, nerfing is so important. It's kind of too late now, because the thing is, it's so far in, they've set an expectation, and not only that, you would have to nerf a lot of stuff in FGO to fix the meta. Like so much stuff. Like it would be like the apocalypse. Because it's not like the days like when they just added Merlin or they just added Scatty, right? We have so many units now that enable looping bullshit. Battery spam nonsense, there's so much of it now. I think most of the player base would actually be okay with nerfs. But there is a vocal minority that is still a sizable chunk, right? It's not like it's a tiny minority, it'd be a decent part. But the vocal minority would be so upset and so mad, and they would have some degree of ground to stand on because they could say, I paid for this thing and then you made it weaker, right? So it's not like they don't have an argument, they do have an argument. So yeah, it's just too late to fix it. Like straight up, it's just too late to fix it. Like it would be like the apocalypse. Because again, you can't just nerf Chaos Story and fix it, right? The problem is so much deeper than that. There's everything wrong with looping, and like just saying there's nothing wrong. I just articulated so many reasons why looping is bad, and your response is looping is fine. That's not an actual point. It's true, some of them are gonna be heavy spenders and that kind of thing, absolutely. But I think most people have enough brain cells to know why it's important to nerf things in video games. And once a meta gets like unhealthy, sometimes that's the only way to fix it. Because if you set a standard that's just absurd, right, the only way to get rid of that standard is nerfing it. Or making it something even stronger than it. Which we do not want to do, and believe me, it can get worse than this, right? As dumb as the game is right now, it absolutely can get dumber. We have not reached peak degeneracy. That's the word. I got tongue-tied there. The NP spam is just, it is so silly. Remember when NPs were like your trump card, like your super move in a fighting game? Remember that? That was a good time. Oh, you absolutely can loop with her, by the way. I mean, you can loop with any unit now if you just use the right setup. But I don't mean like, you know, 5-turn looping, right? I mean, you can 3-turn with her, no problem, if you just use the right supports. All right, so we need to try to. We gotta find the edge of where they don't come running out to die. We gotta find like the when the AI decides to go bananas. I guess I could try to run her around the map or something. I mean, I could just attack now and try to bulldoze through her in time. But I know if I move up, the Genko is definitely going to come at me. Maybe they won't if they think it'll leave them exposed to the Lancer. So critting is mostly fine. The problem with critting, and this has been a problem since day one, and it's actually the reason why like crit setups generally aren't even remotely meta, is the RNG can get silly. Because it's more than just, okay, first off, you have to make stars. The amount of stars that you make is normally random, because the way the star generation works is not completely set in stone. Now, it's going to be within a range, right? It's not like you can make 15 stars or 45 stars. It doesn't work that way, right? It's going to be like 26 stars or 29 stars, right? Shit like that. But there's a bit of RNG with star generation. And then there's RNG in the deck shuffle, so you don't know what cards you're always going to get unless it's the third hand in your card counting. But then, if it's the fourth hand, the deck completely shuffles and you have no idea what you're getting. And then there's no guarantee where the stars go, because star weight is double RNG, because not only is there just the inherent star weight, but then there's the hidden, random cards in the hand getting extra star weight mechanic, which I don't know why the fuck that exists. But, so it's, unless you make 50 stars reliably, it's so fucking random. Now, some degree of RNG is okay, right? And this is not a copium thing. RNG management is a skill, right? Like a big part of like a lot of card games and being good at a card game is knowing how to manipulate RNG and to make favorable decisions that turn out more favorably more often than not, right? Like in Hearthstone, a huge part of being good at Hearthstone is understanding RNG like manipulation and right how to keep it as in your favor as possible, or that when you're losing you have to go for the YOLO and shit like that. That's a skill. That's absolutely a skill, and that's fine. But there's too much RNG with how critting works in FGO, especially the way it worked back in the day. Because back in the day you had to make stars mostly through using quick cards, and quick cards just don't nearly make enough stars to actually guarantee crits next turn. Not even close, right? Most normal units, they're not going to get a quick chain every turn anyway, and even if they do, you're looking at like 35 stars tops. That's just not enough. There's way too much RNG in that, and if you don't quick chain, you're looking more at like 20, 3 stars or something like that. Now you're really looking RNG. And so what became meta isn't using quick cards. The meta for critting now is stars per turn, star bomb CEs, shit like that, right? That's literally the meta for critting, because it's just quick cards don't fucking work. So basically, FGO had a lot of fundamental flaws when it first came out because it was shovelware and they weren't putting a lot of thought into, is the quick first card bonus really equivalent to the Buster first card bonus? The answer is no, by the way. They didn't think about that stuff, right? They were just kind of making it, oh, match 3, lol. And they said this in interviews, right? They just did not put that much effort into FGO at the beginning. They weren't really planning on it, being a long-term game. Now, coincidentally, there actually are some things in FGO that turned out to have a lot of depth to them. There is absolutely depth in this game, and some of the boss fights are surprisingly in-depth. But there's inherent flaws with the balance of Quick Buster and Art, right? They're not done particularly well. There's a lot of issues, right? And those growing pains are kind of obvious at this point, I think. When you look at like how they have to try to make some of the colors, on par with Art, it gets a little silly. And like, look, Quick used to be the meta, but that was only because of Scatty. And look how broken Scatty was when she was added. I mean, look how broken she was, right? Because when she was added, you didn't have Castoria. You didn't have crap like that. All these other units hadn't been buffed yet, like they buffed Tam and all that. That stuff hadn't happened yet. They released Scatty, and that was just so absurd. They'd never added a unit even remotely like that. And she made Quick good through pure strong arm tactics, right? She did it because, LOL, I'm giving you so much battery and so much quick up that obviously this is good, right? If she had been more on par with, like, if you had added Tam but quick up, that wouldn't have actually been that good. And hi, Cairo, thank you for the raid, I appreciate it. How did the murder go? I could move up here. The thing is, she just attacked Ku, and I'm trying to get her to not attack anyone because I need her not to die. But I'm afraid she's just gonna run over here and attack Burgess. But I'm hoping that maybe they don't want to do that. Maybe what I do is I put Ku here, and then maybe she goes for Ku, and then I might have to kill her once, but then I run away. That might like buy me the time that we need. I love having to babysit the idiot AI. Nope, okay. Well, I just don't attack the elephant here, which is gonna result in me getting more damage than I would like, but kinda gotta do what I gotta do here. Okay, they get to go again. I guess well, no, I can save the evade. We're plenty tanky. I can save it for an NP or something. Okay, just ignore the element. Just murder the summer waifu here. VR. Yeah, and then Castoria is Scatty but better, so obviously that broke the game super hard. I think I can. I don't need to NP. I can do it for survivability, but I don't need it. But I won't do 55k, I don't think. Okay, one more. Here's the problem with Scatty. Yes, Quick was kind of like stupid back then, but Scatty is what made the 3-turn loopy refund spammy meta. And then because she existed, they had to make Castoria be able to at least do that. She set, because it's easy to blame Castoria for all the game's problems, and, Castoria is a huge issue because there's no, I'm not exaggerating, there's no reason not to bring Castoria for every stage you do ever. But the reason Castoria is like that is because of Scatty. Scatty set the standard of NPs refunding themselves, right? And that is just the worst fucking thing ever, right? She set the standard that is what the game is now. So, Scatty was still very bad, right? Like, Scatty could have been done better. Right, first off, her quick up probably should have been like 40%, not 50%. Her battery probably should have been like 35 or 40%. Merlin was definitely a problem too. Like, don't get me wrong, Merlin was definitely a problem. Obviously, Merlin didn't result in, you know, LOL, in stuff, but, he just gives you so much survivability and so much damage and so much safeness that you could beat anything no matter what. And then because he was like, you always brought him, that meant any new support trying to compete with that had to be outrageously good, and that definitely causes problems. So Merlin was the first big misstep with the game, right? Because back when Waver was the meta, right? Because that was like phase 1 was Waver being the meta. That was still silly, right? Like that was still like too strong and that kind of thing. But it was okay. But yeah, Waver was the best. You should pretty much always bring him. But what you actually got out of it wasn't, I don't know how to word it. It wasn't too busted, right? I mean, it was busted, but it wasn't too busted. And it could at least be matched. If you didn't bring Waver, you weren't, like, that disadvantaged. You were definitely disadvantaged, but, you know, it wasn't anything like how it is now if you don't bring Castor or Artoria. Yeah, anyway, Merlin was the first mishap, and they actually said that in an interview way back in the day, that they said they probably made Merlin too strong. Yeah, I remember they said that. They wanted him to be strong. Basically, they wanted Merlin to be an alternative to Waver. Because back then, there was no reason not to bring Waver. You should bring Waver for everything you do. There's very, very few exceptions. And they wanted to make sure Merlin, because he's Merlin, he's super famous, it's one of the most popular names in, you know, myth ever. And he's a big part of the story and all this stuff, and they wanted him to be popular. They had to make sure he was at least on par with Waver. And I think that's what their goal was. That's why he doesn't have as much battery. And you know what's funny, chat? I remember this, and I remember thinking this myself before I actually used him. That I thought Merlin might not be that good. Now, everyone thought, oh, of course he's better than Hans and Shakespeare. Obviously, everyone knew that. But everyone was comparing him to Merlin, to Waver when he first came out. And everyone knew Waver had 50% battery, and that's so good. Right, and this huge damage cut for 3 turns. It's like so tanky for so long. And then when you looked at Merlin at a glance, you just see like many weak effects. Like, yeah, team mind vulnerability, that's huge, but that's kind of it. You saw like a bit of stars, a little tiny amount of MP per turn, and you're like, oh, how does that gonna match the 50% battery from Waver? And his battery is only 20% on Merlin, right? So I remember a lot of people were like, I don't know if, I mean, Merlin's okay, but they're like, you know, it's more like he's, you know, Merlin and Waver. It's like, but then people actually used him, and people started to realize, oh, you can NP with him, and that makes it easier to NP again, which makes it easier to NP again, which makes it super easy to NP again. And now you're making 1 billion stars and 1 million NP for the team passively. Now you can get NP without clicking an art card. Now you can get NP without doing anything. And now you're healing constantly, and you have invulnerability, and this is just stupid, right? And you have massive damage up, because, oh, look, attack up, buster up, crit up, right? This is absurd. So then people, and that's actually why Merlin's second rate up, he made more money than his first one. That is so rare, by the way. But that happened with Merlin, and it's because people were not aware of just how broken he was when he got first added. And by the time people realized it, obviously his banner was over. But yeah, now Cat's out of the bag, and obviously people went super ham when he got added later. But yeah, they wanted Merlin to be an alternative to Waver. They accidentally went a bit too far. He was a little too good. Obviously defined the game until Scatty got added, and then Scatty, keep up with how busted Merlin was, they had to make her fucking stupid. And, you know, then that set the NPs refunding themselves standard, and then we got Castoria, which is the same thing but worse in every way possible. And now we are just in the worst meta I've ever seen, because now, it's not just Castoria being busted, because now they keep adding things and they want it to at least be an alternative to Castoria, which, I mean, good fucking luck. But, how do I put this? Like, it's why everyone gets battery now, right? It's like, it's why so many units are just so fucking stupid now, and it's because, you know, if you're looking at Castoria and how busted, it's why, yeah, Veach, Oberon, right? The reason those units are so silly is because of Castoratoria, because you have to compete with just this utter insanity, and it just power creep. If I get my attack up, I can definitely break here. And it's not like I'm gonna. I don't. Yeah, fucking ducks. It's not gonna matter. I think we need to crit one time. Actually, I'm not even sure we needed to crit the one time, but our extra attack has got the passive boost. I cannot stress this enough, chat. This comes from my soul, right? Now, I like Ku, my favorite character. He's like tied with Gilgamesh, but huge Ku fan. Obviously, I use him a lot. And it's nice for budget units to be powerful, that's fine. If they give Ku battery, I am going to be so mad. Because yes, I like Ku the most out of all the Lancers, but I still really like Dyrmid. I also like this thing called balance. I like having, different pros and cons. Like, you don't understand. It's not about the battery meta. No. Never mind the battery meta. Remember Dyrmid? You guys remember Dyrmid? Right? Imagine Dyrmid being there in this fucking game for fucking 6 years now, and you're like, who do we give battery to? Ku. Like, what? Like, are you fucking kidding me? If you're gonna give battery to someone, give it to fucking Dyrmid, for God's sakes. Right? Dyrmid's sitting there in the corner, crying because he's forgotten, and everyone likes Saber Dyrmid now, right? And then Ku gets buffed, and then Ku gets buffed again, and then what, you're gonna give Ku a battery before you give him anything? Like, it's so ridiculous. It's so fucking ridiculous. Like, buff Dyrmid with whatever you're gonna buff Ku with. Like, don't give it to Ku, give it to Dyrmid. Then buff Baldy, right? Then buff Romulus, right? Then buff Taiga. And now if you want to buff Ku, fine, right? Then you can buff Ku again. But holy shit, do something about the other Lancers for once in your... The problem is, I've seen this. Look at Ushi. Look what they did with Ushi. Ushi's popular and everyone knew... Like, the devs aren't stupid, right? The devs knew Ushi was the go-to budget rider. They know that. And so they're like, oh, well, if we want to throw budget a bone so they have an easier time with bosses and stuff, you make Ushi better. Because let's say your peak performance is free to play with an Ushi setup, like fighting a caster or a berserker or whatever. Let's say its peak performance is like 7 out of 10, right? Like how powerful a budget team can be with Ushi is like 7 out of 10, right? And like 10 would be, Castoria bullshit, whatever. That's just a bullshit number I'm making, but it's just for, reference. And so let's say that's also the best thing you could do with a budget rider setup, right? So Ushi's the best one. Like, if you got super meta about a free-to-play setup, 7 out of 10 is the best you can do performance-wise, okay? And like Ricky was 6 out of 10. And what's another single target budget rider? I mean, George, but he's a tank. Who am I forgetting? I gotta look this shit up. Hold on. AoE. Oh, there's a lot of AoE. Okay, that would be the problem. Okay, so it's actually... That's weird. It is just Ricky and Ushi. But let's say you added a new one, right? And they were a 6 out of 10 or whatever. Okay, so this is why they buffed Ushi, though. So if you buff one of the other riders, or an AoE one, let's say you make an AoE one where their normal card damage is like Canis or Ibuki, right? So they do such good normal card damage, they're like single target now. Let's say you buff them up, and now they're 7 out of 10. Right? Like, a good setup for them is like a 7 out of 10 setup. That's not any better for budget, right? You didn't improve budget's ability to deal with hard bosses. So the reason a lot of times they'll buff like Ku or Ushi is because they're trying to make budget better. That's obviously their goal. They're trying to make budget setups better to keep up with the whale bullshit. And they're like, oh yeah, Ku's popular. Everyone likes Ku, and he's like the best Lancer for budget. So if we want them to do better against challenge quests, we buff Ku, because they want to take you from 7 out of 10 to 8 out of 10, or 7.5, or 9, or whatever, right? You get what I'm saying? Where if you buff, for example, right now, right, Ku is obviously your best budget Lancer to kill some big nasty, archer challenge quest, right? Like if you're in a budget team, right? Ku is blatantly your best option. So let's say he's like, 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or whatever. If you buff Dyrmid, like right now Dyrmid's like 5 out of 10, right? If you buff Dyrmid to be up to a 6 or a 7, again, you're not helping budget, right? You're helping Dyrmid fans, but you're not helping budget, right? It doesn't do anything. And that's kind of why it happens. And then Ku's also really popular. So Ku gets focused because he's like a budget, you know, poster boy, and then he gets focused because he's from Fate Stay Night, and he's super, super, super popular. So, the Dyrmid's not a 3 out of 10. Obviously, these numbers are bullshit. I'm not like making real number scale, but even though Dyrmid is so subpar compared to Ku, he still has an upgraded NP that does decent damage. Buff removal still nice. He still has a hard survival skill. A lot of times, that's all you need out of your Lancer to like kill an archer in a challenge quest. Like for real, as long as the rest of the team's like set up properly. But if you're fighting different classes, right, you bring the other classes to deal with the other enemy classes that aren't archer, or if it is just one big bad archer, you know, you bring in Hans or Mash, shit like that, right? Dyrmid can work, absolutely. And so if he works well enough, that's not a 3 out of 10, right? 3 out of 10 is for your garbage, right? This is why like IGN making 7 out of 10 average makes no sense, because there has to be there has to be a distinction between Gilius, Saber, and Jekyll and Hyde. These things are not the same, right? They both might not be meta, and they both might have some, you know, wonkery problems, but they are absolutely not the same thing, right? There is no world where Jekyll and Hyde and Saber Gilius are the same level of shit. They're not. There's a huge difference. You know, Saber Gilius is kind of in, right? And not absolutely not meta, but you can work with it. Right, it's okay, right? Shit gets done, right? And it's like there's a difference between like Geronimo and Ben K, right? You know, we are not the same. I know, absolutely not. Yeah, Castrogillies. And Castrogillies is closer to Hyde. That's they're more in the same stratosphere. Okay, I just went through so much effort to get that stupid loot, and it was just like lion hair or whatever. So that wasn't any good. Yeah, what I'm getting at, you know, if Dyrmid's a 3 out of 10, that means Hyde is like a -5, right? Or like at least a -2, right? Like that's not a reasonable scale. Alright. I'll take the Void Dust, though. Alright, so chat said... Someone in chat said they underestimated this, and they got whacked. So I'm going to underestimate this. So soloing is actually pretty meta, so I'm not going to solo. But I'm not going to bring, you know, my champions, right? We're not bringing Ku, you know, any of that. We're gonna maybe bring, like, all silvers, right? No Grailed units. But you know, we'll give them a normal setup. You know, we're not gonna use, like, we're not gonna do what we did yesterday, because that's not underestimating. That's just taking the piss. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I could see why you wouldn't want to underestimate this, because you're fucking surrounded, right? Like they're coming at you, bro. So if I was trying to win first try, I would probably take this a little bit seriously. But also, all of your servants except your archer spawn back here. How about that? Okay, so silvers only. That's our thing. No Grailed low stars. And we can use bronzes. Bronzes are fine. But yeah, it's silver and bronze only. That's what we'll do. Alright, let's see. So, oh shit, I don't think you get a Lancer slot because of Karna, so I couldn't coup it up anyway. So your archer is the only one near the master, and Karna. Oh, I get it, because God Juna is there. I see what they did. Yeah, Ricky, the betrayal. Okay, so there are masters there. You can't go across. You have to go like all the way around. I'm sure you could kill the master first if you wanted to, though. There's loot up there. That's annoying loot there. Okay. Let's see. David seems good pick, and I like David anyway. You're allowed an extra class. We probably won't use because Mash is not silver. Right, no golds, no golds. Oh shit. Darius is the best pick here, but my Darius is Grailed. That's actually kind of yikes. I don't know if we even bring a Berserker, then we'll see. Berserker is nice, though, when you deal with some of the wonky classes out there. Okay, so that's Moon Cancer. We'll go Babbage. That seems like a good one. It's either Babbage or Casterku. Yeah, Lubu or Spartacus is our only options there. Okay, I do the old 100 face. Oh, you get 2 assassins. Did I do their spawn down there? Yeah, I think I did spawn down there. Can you shift them? Yeah, you can. Alright. We'll give David, I could give him the old Canis seat. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Okay, Oh no, that's gold. Excuse me. I guess Lubu's alright. We want... It's that... What do we go with? We gotta worry about team cost a bit here. Booga Booga would be nice. There's the Buster Up Guts, but honestly the attack stat on this is probably better. Damn it! Okay, what can I do here? I could make this like a 4-star or something. Could go no CE on 100 face, but that's pretty depressing. I mean, I don't know how important the Berserker is, but I mean, that's pretty powerful. But man, this makes 100 face so shit if go no CE. Alright, well, I guess we'll just use them sparingly then, because they're not going to do any damage at all. Alright, I feel like I'm adequately underestimating the stage. I feel like we're going pretty crappy here. Alright, you know, maybe I shouldn't have given David that, just because, I mean, he's not that close to that invulnerability tile, but... What the fuck is this skill seal? Do you skill seal when you attack them? Or is it like... You get skill sealed if you walk into it? That's kind of strange. I would presume you skill seal the opponent when you attack them. I see, we got buffed for having more units. They said that was going to be a thing. Looks like, whoa. It looks like star gen up, or star absorb up. I wonder if you bring like the maximum amount of units if you get more buffs than that, because that's a pretty useless buff. Okay, so this track is really whack. I guess the master wants to go this way? Stars per turn. Alright, let's see what they do. I forgot to move David. Okay, so they know you're probably gonna go that way with your caster, and that's why they put a rider over there. That's like the whole problem with this mode, is like that's the only thing they can do. Like, they can't have the AI be smart enough to do anything intelligent. I'd like to grab this buff and then just back up, so they won't be able to do anything of note to me here. Let's see. So I guess you don't grab a star buff. If you're on that square, you'll get stars per turn. Alrighty, I could hit Gajuna in the face, but let's see. How much health does he got? Do I think Lu Bu can do 83k Look at that Pearson vulnerability. Oh, look at the cute CE. Oh, look at that. Well, let's check that. Hold up. I'm actually curious what Ricky gets. Okay, that's the same as always. Oh, yeah, she does have a CE already. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, that's the Beowulf one. That's a good one. Gets evade. That's good. That gives him something. Oh, that's Ricky with Canis and Mori. Okay, so that's nothing though of note. Of course. Alright, this is the same as always. Yeah, alright. What did Karna get? Oh. How come he just gets the story support one instead of a Karna CE? I feel like we're being let down here, chat. Also, nice attack stat, by the way. Because he doesn't have full items, I bet. Anyway, 83k. I could do it if I used his attack up and then the Mystic Code attack up. You know what? Let's do it. We'll do some Berserker on Berserker violence. I have a degree of faith in Lu Bu. Supposed to be underestimating the stage, so we'll rush off into battle. Oh. Oh, right. Whoops. Well, that wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done. We'll evade now. As long as we do the 83k, the Pearson vulnerability won't come into play here. You got this, Chad. He's a big boy. Oh yeah, no problem. Didn't even need a crit. By the way, that was so unlucky that we didn't crit a single time there. That was very silly. So close to getting our NP there. For them to do Golden Sumo, it would have to be Benkei or Kentoki. Benkei's actually the one that's probably more likely to get it, if they ever did it. That I would have to meme that. Oh my god, I'd have to put that in a video somehow. Yeah, honestly, if we ever fight Benkei or Kentoki and they have Golden Sumo, I will make a video. That'll get me to make a meme video, right? Like, just that one joke. Actually, chat, I cannot stress this enough. Normally when I make a highly edited meme video, it's because I was like playing a video game or something, and my monkey brain, I just think of like literally one stupid joke, and I need to actualize that joke, and I build a whole fucking video around it. That is where most of my meme videos come from, is I just think of one like funny reference or whatever the fuck, and I'm like, okay, now I do that edit, and then I have to build a whole video around it to justify it. That's generally how it goes. And like, if I try to like, I'm serious, if I try to make a meme video and I don't already have an idea for like a joke like that, I can't. I just sit there with like writer's block, essentially, you know, meme block, and I don't know what to make. Right? I just nothing happens. Where if I just think of one stupid fucking joke, then I can make a whole video and it's like easy, and like, you know, it just one thing leads to another, right? So yeah, that's generally what makes those videos happen. The meme block, yeah. Editing block. So this is actually kind of cool because I can now give the entire team evade. I don't know if Karna is really worth healing, but you know, he's a cool guy. You know what, we'll give the whole team charisma too. That seems good. Alright, we'll go bonk, bonk, bonk. Maybe I should just NP to get the break bar, because I don't think we're actually going to break here, because everyone's attack status so low. I don't even remember why I made Ushi's interlude a video. I feel like I should do, I really feel like I should do another one of those. Like, just, even if you only use like 5 seconds of the story text, it's kind of nice. So I think I should do that. I have to do it on NA because you need it to be in English, obviously. But yeah, maybe, because I've been wanting to make a video, I just haven't been sure what to make a video of. So maybe I jump on NA, do someone's random. I don't remember a single thing I did in the Ushi video. I have no idea. Like, it must not have been very good because I don't remember anything about that video. I remember making it, I remember it existing, but I couldn't tell you what happened in the video. Alright, let's see. Do I attack with Lu Bu? Because if I do, it's gonna bring in them. What do? Attack with Hunter Face, that's gonna bring in all kinds of nonsense. If Lu Bu had his NP, I'd be really willing to go in right now. I kinda want them to attack me and just have Karna do his NP. That's a better thing to do. Although I could switch places and then have Karna go. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. That's alright. Kinda stupid to NP someone that has that little health, but it will bring in some backup. Yeah, sometimes it's good to make a short video, but you don't want to overstay your welcome. That's actually, I think, a mistake a lot of people make. If you run out of material, you run out of motivation or whatever, don't force it. They might actually NP at some point, because they obviously have the extra health bar, so I think it's good to do that. Alright, Karna, don't let me down, bud. Do the damage. I thought about making a meme video for a Grail Front, but again, I don't have any motivation because I haven't thought of a dumb joke to make, so I don't know if it would happen or not. It's kind of hard to do a Grail Front video, I feel, in a meme way. Alright, did we get all of them? We did, very nice. I should have done quick NP then. But I underestimated the 10k Karna, but I guess he did have charisma in the Buster Up. Where's my mouse? Hello? There it is. Man, Arjuna's getting kind of shit on the side. We're not even like focusing on him and he's getting wrecked. Collateral damage. It's gonna get very easy to get that loot. He's supposed to be like the boss, but not a big deal. Okay, so I could attack with Babbage, but that'll bring in Ishtar, so it's probably better that I just move them over here. So that means they'd come in right here, which is not connected to the Master, so I don't need to worry about it. I could move the Master back just in case I need space. I could try to finish off Arjuna right here, but I don't think we should. Although I bet you they'll come across and attack the Berserker, which is kind of annoying. Probably could have cast my defense up then. I could back up. I can back up one space. That's fine. Hey, Poi, and hey, Arjuna. Dude, if you search Ushi interlude and my video is the first thing to come up, that's really fucking stupid. Because obviously, if someone searches Ushi interlude, they're wanting to see Ushi's interlude, right? Because maybe they haven't seen it and they haven't leveled Ushi, but they want to know what the story is or whatever. And yeah, my video is the worst fucking thing for that ever. Oh my god, Ushi's interlude I did so long ago. This is how dumb I am. I was thinking vaguely, my brain was conflating the Mordred interlude video, and I couldn't remember what yeah, the Ushi one I made like 5 years ago or some crap. I really don't remember that one. Yeah, my brain was like thinking of when I sat down and edited the Mordred one, so yeah, I have no idea what the fuck I did in any of this stuff. Okay, who killed the music? I don't want to know what that is, Say. You know what, Say? I'm gonna ignore that. Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that. I'm not clicking it. What are you gonna do about it? All right, so they already took their turn, but they have their NP now. So the next time they go, they can have their NP. What a monster! All right, we'll do Buster Chain. We got Buster Resist down. This could be good. Crit! That was even the NP, man. It's what you were talking about? I don't see how that's... Oh, is it like a surge? Okay, I'll click it now. And I'm getting rickrolled, but okay. Oh yeah, so it's the YouTube search. Yeah, that is stupid. At least I put like Koo's face on that, so it's pretty obvious that's not actually she's interlude, I think. I probably debated one poor soul off of that though. So I'm sure, you know, someone's like just looked up, you know, like Lobo's Valentine's Day scene, right? Or like Sanson's interlude. I'm sure someone's done that, right? And so like imagine like making a meme video out of like Valentine's Day scene for Lobo, right? And then you debate someone with that, right? That'd be awful, like, because Lobo's actually got an awesome Valentine's Day scene, by the way. Art chain. You know what? I should have done Carnage quick card with someone else's art card bonus because he probably would have gotten his MP off of that. Maybe that's why the Mori guy was mad at you. No, I've cracked the code. I know why the Mori guy was mad at me. It's because now I don't entirely know because I'm not psychic, but this is the important bit. He already didn't like me. It's not because of anything I did with Mori that made him dislike me. He already didn't like me. Now I have no idea why, but for whatever reason he didn't like me. And then he liked Mori, right? So this is just some guy that's existed, doesn't like my face. Mori is released, he likes Mori, right? Which is fair. This is so far so good. This is all fair enough, right? No problem so far. And then I also liked Mori and said I was going to grail him and all these things, right? And now that's what got him upset, right? Because he doesn't like me, but he likes Mori and he sees that I like Mori, and now he's like saying, I'm not gonna let you liking Mori like tarnish Mori, right? Like that's like the whole thing. Dude, the best part was I pinned his comment, right? And so in the replies he was getting hate. By the way, guys, I blame you all for this. This is your all's fault, right? Everyone was like memeing on him and attacking him, right, for his dumb comment. And at first he like defended himself by saying, well, even the green pinned my comment, so like I'm right? But you all like gave it away because everyone was saying, oh, he just pinned you because wall of shame, and everyone was just being a dick to this guy. And so after a long time, he eventually deleted the comment because you gotta understand, it's not like he sees the video all the time. If you go to your YouTube notifications, that's how he was always seeing it, right? He didn't even know it was pinned. But you all fucking gave it away, right? Because he doesn't go back to the video. He just goes to his YouTube notification. He just sees a reply, right? But he just kept getting replies and a lot of hate and stuff. And he was sick, and rightly so. The guy was sick of getting YouTube notifications for getting replies from this comment. So he eventually deleted the fucking comment, right? So you guys ruined it. If you guys had just shut the fuck up, he wouldn't have deleted it because he wouldn't have known. But yeah, people kept saying mean stuff and whatnot. And so after like a year and a half or whatever, he eventually deleted the comment. Thankfully, I screenshotted it. Right, so it still lives on. Chat, hold on. Fuck, and I just unplugged my earbuds. My earbuds are like stuck in my chair wheel, or like my chair that I'm sitting in. Oh my god, this is so. Oh god, it's really wrapped up in here. Okay, I think I got it. Ugh. Gotta battle my desk. Okay, this gets harder when you're older, man. Wheelchair, another wheel on the chair. Not that old yet. Give it a minute. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I like how people already have the copy paste. Anyway, but yeah, if people weren't memeing on him, that comment would still be on the video, but people scared him off. Because I gotta stress this, chat, when you get, I know someone in my chat is gonna relate to what I'm saying. You know who you are. When you're having a YouTube comment battle, when you're having that pissy fit with each other, the back and forth, gotta have the last word nonsense on YouTube, right? When you're doing that, they're not in like the video replying to you. They're in their YouTube notification section, right, replying to you. So they don't see things like the surrounding comments. They don't see if it's pinned or not. They don't see if it's favorited or not. They don't see any of that shit, right? But so when people reply to them and say crazy crap, you know, it gives the shit away. All right. Where did why is she back there? I guess she's really wanting that invulnerability, which is good, but I could fight Jinko, but pretty soon we're gonna have to deal with Ricky. I could attack once and back up once, and that's probably good enough. And if I have to just like go backing up spam, then we'll just do that. I can think of many reasons someone wouldn't like me. Chad, I am not up my own ass enough to think that there are not legitimate reasons to dislike me. There are legitimate reasons to dislike a lot of people. There are plenty of reasons why someone might not like me. And that's fine, right? It's okay, right? Not everyone on planet Earth needs to get along, right? It's never gonna happen. You know, I'm a dick to people all the time, so... Let's see, we will star bomb. You know, we'll do this too. We will bang, bang, bang. Let's see what we get here. Now, let's not be too generous though. There's also a lot of stupid reasons not to like me. Let's do balance this out. There are a lot of fucking stupid reasons to dislike someone. I would actually go as far as to say, there are more people on Earth dislike people for dumb reasons than people dislike someone for good reasons. I actually easily will make that statement. I think that's a very safe thing to say. Green is a dumb color. You're banned. That's it. You're banned. That's the last toot out of you. That's It's over. You're banned in every chat that I have mod in. Yeah. Anyway. God, so I knew Say was gonna do that though. I remember I said if I banned Say, he'd like play the victim. He fucking went on Discord and it was like, Green banned me. He didn't even like, he didn't say it in a way that was obviously like ironic. He just went to Discord and said I banned him. When obviously I didn't actually do that. Alright, let's see though. What am I doing here? So Arjuna's last health bar. I really wish I'd gotten my NP. That would have been so good. I could like go in right now with an NP. Do I have my battery? Nope, no battery. I have, you know, I joke about banning people, but I almost never ban people. Like, it is so rare that I ban people. You have to be such an asshat to get banned. Or a bot. Bots get banned constantly. Almost our entire ban list is just bots. Man, I really wish I'd caught his NP. It's kind of a struggle to decide what to do here. I could attack and then go for Jinko. Yeah, okay. We'll do that. What do I said it twice? I just make the same joke twice. I'm pretty low-hanging fruit like that. I have made a mistake. Chat, see what I'm saying by earlier? I should have done that art quick. Because we would absolutely would have gotten our NP there, and then I could NP right now. And if I don't kill Arjuna with the NP, I could do Buster after, and all three of them are dead. That would be, this turn would be godly. Where now, I'm going to get a health bar broken, like, no matter what. Like, I'm absolutely getting my health bar broken. But I can at least kill the elephant, so. I get we'll win still in the long run, but man, that'd be a god tier. All three of them are on their last health bar, so Karna, what are you doing? How is it 10k attack, ladies and gentlemen? What the actual fuck was that? How did he do so little damage? What the fuck was that? Bro, and see now they still have their NP. Oh my god. What the fuck? What is this 10k attack garbage, dude? Imagine being a 5-star with 10k attack. And then you got our Juno over here with question mark. Okay, this is not good. Let me think. Because now they're going to attack, and then she'll join in, and they'll NP. I'm throwing so hard right now. And all I had to do was do that art quick earlier, and we'd be fine. I could switch with 100 face. I don't see what that really accomplishes, though. Actually, no, that's okay. I can kill her now, and I can evade. We're not gonna lose, chat. We're not that fucking dumb here. Actually, we might be that dumb because Gaijuna still has Pierce and Vulnerability, and we have 7k attack. So, no, it's fine. It's Babbage can clean up whatever mess we leave behind. It's fine. And we started so good, and then I started talking about, like, Mori comment, and then now we're in this situation. Oh yeah, that's totally reasonable game. A Berserker just buster crit. Very nice game. We still got this, it'll be fine. David's here. We got, dude, the whole everyone almost having their NP but not shtick though, that's really getting me. He could technically kill Gaijuna, but he would need, how do you look at your Mystic Code? I know there's a way. Nope. I know something lets you see Mystic Code, but, you think clicking on the master would be it. That would be the logical thing here. No, I've clicked on the master. That clearly is not doing anything. I've clicked and held. Maybe your movement has to be gone. Nope. I do remember there was a way to look, but yeah, we need the Mystic Code to guarantee. It's only turn 4. I can't imagine that I have it. I fucking wish that screenshot was real, man. Like, I wish. We're about to have a bad time. Let's see what they do. I really don't want 100 Face to die, but they might. Oh no, that brought in the whole crew. Okay, fine. Oh man, David's only one turn off from being able to do this. That'd be great. Please don't make me NP for 33k. I don't want to do that. Like, come on, work with me, game. Okay, we'll do this.
Huh.
I don't think this is gonna do. Okay, that's right. It's a Berserker. Yeah, okay, yeah, we got it. No big deal. David got big damage from his CE. Oh yeah, totally. That's flat damage, man. Showing him who's boss. Also, that was such a dumb move on their part. They're just making it harder on their rider. That is probably it for them. Can you imagine just how much Pierce and Vulnerability nonsense there is going to be with the added PvP? And buff removal, like that's just going to be so meta. There's no way, it's all going to be about buff removal resistance, invulnerability, Pierce and Vulnerability, guts, NP battery, AoE spam to kill everything, almost piece of nonsense. It's all that kind of stuff. Like absolutely. Maybe a few other things out there, I'm sure. Ricky's trying to do stuff. Okay. Gotta finish off the god here. I so wish. Oh, I did have the attack up. I guess I could have done that a while ago then, but I so wish that I had Lu Bu's in P. Yeah, we're Lost Belt 4 again, boys. He's in the wrong ascension, though. You know, 100k is pretty good for not having a craft essence at all equipped. I think level 70. Alright, don't murder me now. Oh, he murdering me now. Yep, okay. A little bit of crit damage on this one. Yeah, there we go. Get him. Yeah, now Lu Bu can kill him. Although he might be too far away. We'll see. Do these split the stars or does it go to the host? Probably goes to the host. Sound like I'm playing Elden Ring right now. Yeah, he's too far. Damn it. If he had been the one that killed, but he wouldn't have enough points then. Well, 100 Face might get fucked up here, but we can dilute the turn. Also, stay away from me, Ricky. I'll play more Elden Ring once there's a fucking patch. I don't know, I might play it before that just because the way for them to actually do literally anything with the balance. Also, we just got 100 face killed. That was very unlucky that he double attacked. Guess we'll give Lu Bu. Is there any reason to give Lu Bu evade? I mean, yeah, if he gets in a team fight, he might only get attacked one time. Really awesome NP ahead, by the way. Yeah, the last patch was ridiculous. That was embarrassing. People have said that, like, no people that work at FromSoft, that FromSoft is planning on doing, like, better patches and they are trying to, like, respond to the feedback, but if that actually turns out to be true or not, we'll just have to see. Like, I love those games. I love Invading. Invading is so much fun. But there's just so many problems with Elden Ring, man. I'd be more likely to play Dark Souls 3 right now than Elden Ring, to be honest. Which that's kind of a shit show, but all right, David grabbed the goods. All right, so we got 2 elephants and 2. Oh wow, I should not have let 100 Face die. There's 2 riders. Oh god, that was so stupid of me. I wasn't even thinking about that. But yeah, keeping 100 Face alive is actually super important. Well, David gonna have to do some work, but that's okay. David's a strong lad, he can handle it. Still curious how that skill seal works. Karna does have his NP, so. Yeah, the lack of covenants was a very bizarre decision. I'm not really sure why they did that. I honestly just feel like the development was rushed and they weren't able to flush out a lot of the, like, online stuff, like, because they just didn't have time. And they obviously had to make sure the PvE stuff was done first, because legitimately that is more important. For like the, you know, marketing and sales and everything. Like, you've gotta, that's like the main draw of the game. But yeah, kind of fucked up. Hey, Babbage killed an elephant. Let's see if we can somehow run his health back. I really doubt it, but if I had his defense up right now, maybe that would amount to something. 42k, I don't need the attack up for that, no big deal. I even got the anti-mail command code. I have no idea why we have that, it's probably in the video. You know, Ricky got he thought he was pursuing Steen, right, Babbage, but he was actually pursuing Lu Bu that whole time, which was not the right play. He'll at least break, he'll break a bar here. But he'll die after that for sure. But hey, a lot of the enemy units didn't even break a bar, so he's accomplishing something. If I had my defense up right now... Okay, no, he crit me out of... Yeah, he's got like all his crit buffs there. Hey, how the hell do you say your name? Tritopic? I feel like there's a word split here that I'm not noticing, but thank you for the 7-month sub. Tritropic? I don't know. It's you know, if you sub to me for 7 fucking months, you know what I'm about, so I don't feel like I need to explain anything at this point, but I appreciate the support. Alright. Gonna Lu Bu all over the screen, chat. Sorry, Ricky. We're still a friend. It was just training, guys. He's just going back to Chaldia. No big deal. You know, I am not memeing in any way. Really, the only game that I'm super looking forward to right now is EDF 6. Earth Defense Force 6, which I am super looking forward to. I love Earth Defense Force 5 so much. I have so much fun in that game. I play with like solo, I play with my friends all the time. It's so good. It's so good. And I'm like just last, so we were actually stuck. There was this mission. We beat it once before. For those who don't know, like EDF, it's like you versus aliens and giant bugs, and like the story is incredibly cheesy, but it's got actually quite a bit of depth to the combat, especially on high difficulties. Anyway, we were playing one of the absolute hardest missions in the game on the highest difficulty, and I gotta stress this. We were not overgearing it. We were actually undergearing it intentionally. Like, you know, just like how I always am. You know, we don't do that overgearing bullshit. So we were, you know, doing it legit stat-wise. Actually, a bit understated for the stage. And it's like one of the hardest missions ever. And we just wiped on that mission like all night one time we played it, and we didn't beat it. And then so the next night we had to do it again until we actually beat it. And we had to get like super meta with the strategy and like the timing, and everyone had to play super good. And it's awesome. I love that game. It's like, and you know, it doesn't have to be super hard. You can play that game in a very casual way. You can farm a lot. You can play on medium difficulties and things like that until you've got like super gear. Then you play on higher difficulty. But yeah, I love that game. There's a lot of ways to play it. A lot of teamwork. A lot of just fun units and weapons and murdering giant bugs. It's great. And yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to EDF 6. I cannot wait to see what they add. I'm looking forward to like Dragon's Dogma 2, but that's not going to be out for a really long time. Right, so I really like Dragon's Dogma, but it was a flawed masterpiece. I think that's the best. Yeah, I think everyone knows that. Emphasis on the flawed part, right? But I really liked Dragon's Dogma. There's so much potential there. I'm absolutely looking forward to what they do with it. Obviously, they might fuck it up, but I'm very much looking forward to that. But that's so down the line. I'm not holding my breath, if you will. Let me think. I'm probably forgetting something else though, but yeah, that's all that really comes to mind right now. I'm pretty disillusioned with video games. Like most of the mainstream AAA releases, I just think are crap. I really stand by that. I think most AAA games that come out are crap, and they are so boring. I would rather do literally anything else. I would rather watch an anime, play an old video game, you know, play FGO, whatever. I have no interest in playing the overwhelming majority of AAA games. Now, there are indie games that I like, but the thing about the problem with indie games is they're not really marketed. So you're not like looking forward to them until they're out and you stumble upon them, right? There is probably a new Armored Core game coming. A lot of stuff got leaked about that, but God knows when that's releasing. So, you know, obviously when I know when it's coming out, I'll look forward to it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to look forward to indie games because, yeah, there's not much marketing there. But I do love indie games. I do, like, there's plenty of indie games that are good. Although there's plenty of indie games that are also trash, but, Okay, so we both have invulnerability, so it's not exactly going to be a productive turn, but you gotta get through it eventually. I'll make stars, I suppose. I guess it would have been better if I let her attack me first, but... Yep, see, another thing, I would be looking forward to Gundam Battle Operation 2, but we have absolutely no idea when that's releasing. We have no idea when the network test is. They basically were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a network test soon, and then it crashed and burned, and they didn't know how to, turn the internet on, and now we have no news, and we have no idea what they're doing, so, yeah, if I, once that has news, I'll look forward to it. Yeah, but maybe someday. Do this for like a billion times. Do this. Deck spread is kind of shit, so I think we want to NP here. I mean, maybe we do 43. I might be able to do 43k without the NP if I did the attack up, but I think it's just better to do the attack up next turn. So I'll just do that. Oh yeah, Team Ninja does make some good stuff from time to time. They also made Ninja Gaiden 3, but we forgive them for that. But yeah, they could definitely make a game that I'd be interested in. I know they didn't say what they were working on though. They just said they were working on something. They didn't say what it was. So I'm pretty sure they were like, we're working on something and it's not Ninja Gaiden, but we are going to make more Ninja Gaiden eventually. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. Which I'm obviously looking forward to, because although Ninja Gaiden 3 was absolutely terrible, I think they'll get back on track, and I suspect whenever they do make another Ninja Gaiden game, it'll be good, so. I should play Smite sometime. Just for the lulz, because it has a lot of like comparisons to FGO with the legends and everything, and that'd be a fun like one-off stream. It's kind of hard to do a one-off stream though on a competitive game, or a PvP game. I don't know if competitive is the right word for that, but because you kind of have to get good to make any content, right? I'll play Gundam Evolution, but the thing is, I'm a huge Gundam fan. I can't put into words like how much of a Gundam fan I am. I can nerd out about all these tiny details in Fate and stuff, but I'm like that in Gundam too. I like Gundam as much as Fate, if not more. But there's not a lot of good Gundam games, and it's just, that's not what my channel has historically been about. But I'm not that looking forward to Gundam Evolution because it's not really a Gundam game, it's an Overwatch game. It's if anything, it's almost like annoying if you're a Gundam fan because they kind of fuck up every opportunity they had at doing like a good Gundam game, and instead they just made an Overwatch game, and I'm not super into that. But it's still fun. I played it, I still enjoyed it. It's it was still a fun time. Okay, so when these elephants die, the game's over, so I gotta try to grab all this loot without dying. So how are they connected? Okay, they're not connected to... Wait. Actually, yeah, they could get to the master kind of quick if they wanted to, so... I think I can switch if I move him first. Yep, okay. And we'll go that way, I suppose. Yeah, grabbing the loot in this level is kind of a problem. I mean, the master is literally standing on the loot. I suspect if you kill her, it'll still move you into the square when you... well, maybe not. I don't know. When you kill a unit, it does that, but I don't know if it would do that for a master. That's kind of a problem. She's trying to commit suicide. 2.5 million, though. I like that. And like the bronze chests can have bronze mats, so those are better. Like gold chest, who cares about that shit? No, this is not the final Grail Front. There's still many to come, or several to come. This is the last one that's available today, but there is more. I have absolutely no idea what the loot is. I'm sure someone in chat knows them. Triple attack up, this might work. If it doesn't, I should do the defense up, but, well, I mean, we're level 70 with the Kaneth, CD, so that's not a lot of damage. 58k. Triple attack up. David's attack up is like 18% or something. By the way, David animation update needs to happen. Yeah, his attack up is 18%. You know what? I'm gonna have faith. He got this. He got this, chat. He's a strong boy. He don't fucking got. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. We do not got that at all. I absolutely should have done the defense up, because honestly we'd still have a pretty sizable amount of health. And see, the problem is now we're low enough that if we get attacked, we'll just die. If I had the defense up, that wouldn't have happened. Lubu saved me. That her damage is spread out. Talking about underestimating the stage, by the way. Okay, how the hell am I gonna get the loot there? I guess I could kill her. Before I kill this one. That's gonna be really hard, though. Because she's gonna attack me, obviously. And then Lubu's only got the one health bar and stuff, so I don't really have the luxury of just stalling. Okay. I could not break her bar if I wanted to, but like I think I do need to kill her. Maybe Babbage can sneak around if I start running away from the other one. Yeah, there's probably something we can figure out with that. If you mean why David is not more important in the main story, I concur, but I don't know what you mean by history, because you know you don't really get to first off, David is decently famous in like the Bible, right? And it's not like you have any control of how famous you get, right? Like you kind of get as famous as you are, if that makes any sense. All right, do this 60, 100. Let's not shuffle. Wait a minute. Was I not supposed? Wait a second. No, I do want to kill this one. Yeah, no. We want to kill this one first. It's the other one that we don't want to kill. Either that or we just sneak around. I think we got it. Yeah, we got it right here. And this shouldn't result in us wiping or anything. Although it's not like the best turn I've ever seen, but was that one stake? Like, if it was 5, okay, but I think that was one stake. Maybe it just doesn't show the numbers. Like, maybe, that... Earlier we got 3 Void Dust, so maybe it just doesn't show the number here, and we see it at the end. Like, obviously, bronze mats are really important, but like, 1 is kind of crap. Wait a minute. If you're standing on the skill seal, is it a... Do you just skill seal yourself? That seems so crappy. $122. Self buffs only. Well, now we know. I guess they want it to be a negative space. It's just... It seems like... I don't get the point of that. Like, put the gimmicks on the enemies. I feel like that's the better way to do it. Nope, it shows the number. So that was 1 stake and 1 Void Dust. That's kind of pathetic. Alright, chat. I think we're gonna win this. Not sure what would give me that idea. This was a bit more fun though, especially because I did it with gold, so I didn't bring my Grail units, I didn't do any of that. First section was a bit fun. If it was just a little bit harder, I would have actually liked this. If it was just like a wee bit harder, like higher stats on the enemies. However, that's me holding back by, quite a sizable amount. I tell you what though, if I did this on like the Bizet account or even the Steno account, I might have to struggle a bit. I think the Steno account would be all right. It's not a good account, but it's progressed enough. Yeah, I can see the final one being decent. The thing is, what's going to make it interesting is just the enemy stats, not the game mode inherently. The game mode inherently, I think, is pretty flawed. You can have fun with it though, especially if they really got gimmicky with it and you were like fighting an actual boss, right? And so you have like, after you clean out the trash mobs, you like line up your units so they're always fighting in a team. So the enemy damage is spread out and you can use like Max's defense skill and something. And you're actually fighting something really tough, right? Like not 80k, right? None of that garbage. It could be pretty fun. If they actually did something with it, I could see it being all right. How about all this loot though? I'll put starter on the map, exactly. I try something gutsy. Oh, wait, no, that's the one we did. Okay, so we are out of these. But yeah, there's more to come. Although, that's a 0 AP one. Oh god. That can't be. I would hope you do that one and it unlocks more. But, oh no, that would be so stupid if that's the end of the event. I mean, we just started. Like, we literally just started. Yeah, it's 2 weeks, so I would hope that when you do this, it unlocks more stuff beneath it. I would really hope so. Although they're not giving those Grail Front pieces like normal. They're not giving you those, so they might, if they do give you a Grail, it's just going to be a whole Grail at the end. And there's no treasure chest. Yeah, no, there's more. There's more, because there's no treasure chest. If there was a treasure chest, then that was probably the end. But yeah, the lack of treasure chest makes me pretty confident that there's more to do. Chad, I was in there so long, we got the 5 AP back. Let me just make one of these. I'm not whipping. I should have done that earlier, but I didn't think I was going to be in there that long. But, you know, I was blabbing my mouth, you know, all that stuff. So, chat, I would be really happy if I could get more coup coins. I got 15. If I could just get them out of... I just used, like, 80k FP the other day, like yesterday. And I got Ushi twice. I got 100 Face. I got Saber Gilius. I think I got Boudica, but yeah, no coup. Because one more coup and I can get to 118, but it's gonna be a long time before I can get his second passive. By the way, I think coup is one of the only units that you... This is correct. Now, this is not necessarily correct if you never solo. If you're always doing team stuff, then you probably do these two. Like, if you're always putting coup on a team, I think it's these two. But because I solo or last man stand with coup so much, these are the way to go. Like, having the anti-berserker is really good. I bought this one first, which I think my logic was correct on buying this one first, because this helps every single extra attack you do, and coup extra attacks a lot. And Fluffy didn't exist yet, but then like literally in a week, like this time gate was up or whatever, and then Fluffy got added, and then I realized I absolutely should have bought this. And there was other berserkers that that's Durandal, by the way. I don't know why I never realized that. But the charisma icon is Durandal. So Gil has Durandal, Hector has Durandal, Roland has Durandal, and then literally everyone with an attack icon has Durandal as well for some fucking reason. And yeah, this Excalibur, and that one I knew. That one's kind of obvious. But yeah, that never dawned on me that that's Durandal. I think that's the Gilgamesh one. The Roland one they added gems to, just to try to make it special. And then Hector's obviously got it on his spear, and it's a different color. And so like the vanilla shape like that, it should be Gil's, so. Say yes, Durandal. Speaking of these though, okay, Billy only has 80 coins right now. He's like Bond 12, or Bond 11 at least. And he's only got 80. That's ridiculous. And I saw someone the other day, who was it, that they can't even get one passive. You know, meanwhile, like Ushi or someone has got like, because Ushi's not Bond 10, that's what's important. Okay, see, Robin's not Bond 10. Robin has one passive and he's got 130, so he can get two. Which is actually more than Billy, who is Bond 10, so that's great. Actually, he's Bond 11. That's so fucked up! Billy I know he's at least Bond 11. He might be Bond 12, but I think it's Bond 11. So Billy's like Bond 11. He only can get 1 passive. Robin is like bond 6, and he can get 2 passives. Great system. Okay, Deermid can get 2 passives. Hector already has 2 passives, and has 40 excess. Romulus, what the fuck? Romulus has 2 passives and has 85 coins. Meanwhile, Billy, again, bond 11, is way behind. Let's see. I know there was someone though that was like so behind on this. Let's see. Ushi has 0 coins, but she has all 3 passives. That's crazy because she's not bond 10. I think she's like bond 7, bond 8, and she has every single one of her passives. So yeah, RNG is a bitch. Oh my God, Babbage. Babbage doesn't even have 1. Look at this. Look at this. Ushi's not bond 10, so nothing special from getting bond, right? And Ushi has 3 passives. Babbage has no passive at all. And he's at least bond 5. I don't know if he's bond 6 or not, but that is so messed up. So he's probably gotten the least coins out of anybody. Although Billy, if he didn't have bond 11, would be in really bad shape. Protoku has 1. He got 100 coins, so not too bad. Ricky's got 1 and 200 coins, so that's actually pretty solid. Obviously, the story locks are in bad shape, but yeah, pretty much on average, it looks like on average, people, my 3 stars have 2, right? Because Clown has 1, but he's got 160 coins. So with how long I've played the game, how much I've used FP, etc., on average, my 3 stars have 2 to 3 passives. But then somehow Babbage has 0, so that's just really bad luck. Yeah, most of them have 2. Like, Fuma's got the 1, but 145 coins. So overwhelmingly, the average is I'd say 2 passives right now. Yeah, Babbage is just having a and Billy and Babbage are having a bad fucking time. Let's see. So Leonidas can get 2. I have no idea what my average is on bronze. My bronze is probably average of 2. Yeah, Ted's 2. That's 2. That's 2. Shakespeare doesn't have 2, but almost 2 on Phantom. Yeah, okay, 2 and some excess on Salami. Jason's got 2. Black Bar can get 2. Obviously, they don't have 2, but they have 1, and then they have enough coins to buy 1. Wow, Mozart can get all 3. I might as well, actually. So bronze is actually doing pretty well. They're beating out, I would say, the silvers actually, and I figured that would be the case. That in the long run they would beat the silvers. Yeah, she's at 2. What about Kojiro here? He's pretty close to getting all 3. That's nice. Yeah, pretty much every bronze has 2. Did I have any bronze that didn't have 2? Yes. Blood Axe. Curse Arm has 2. Blood Axe and Shakespeare, I think, are the only ones that don't have 2. But they're kind of close. Where, you know, Babbage doesn't even have 1, that's a huge L. And then Angra can get 1. So that's gonna be a minute. Yeah, Bedivere is gonna have a hard time. I legit regret not rolling on White Day. That was a mistake. When Tesla was rated up in White Day, I should have rolled. I kind of forgot that you could get Bedivere, Ku, all that stuff, and it was a higher rate. Because you can't get Jinkei, Boudica, Ushi, Medea, that kind of stuff. Uriel, right? So like the odds of getting those were higher. I should have rolled big then. That was such a mistake on my part. So I ended up rolling a little bit for Tesla after that when he wasn't rated up on White Day, so it just didn't make any sense. It's better to have your favorite be Angra though than some of the other crap that can happen out there, but Angra is rough. It's going to take a long time to 120 Angra, unless you like wail to get FP, which you can do. You know what's really depressing is like Morgan down here has 180, which is more than some of the units I actually like and want coins on. So I know I got Summer Kiara. I think I burned 1 copy of her, and the other one might be in second storage. It's either that or I burned both copies. Or I'm just blocking her from my memory. I know I put a Himiko in second storage. Because yeah, she has 205 coins. I got Kama? What the fuck? God, that's stupid, dude. I have no interest in having Kama, dude. Yeah, what is Woo's got 120. That shows how many Woos I've gotten because you get so few coins for her. And you might say, well, where are the other Woos? Yeah, they're in the oven. So, Yeah, feels bad. I got all those woos, and I only have Hercules because I picked him as my free 4-star. Yeah, it looks like I'm hiding or burned all of my summer Kiaras, but I got it at least twice. Let's see. Liz is at 85. That's actually less than I thought. Although he only gives you 30 coins per, so... Oh my god, Trapface is at 105. And he only gives 30 coins per. What the actual fuck? Carmella at 125. Lee only at 100. I mean, that's not bad, but, let's see. Dino Mom 55. Fucking other Trapface at 190. God, and that's chat's fault, because that's GSSR. Void Cheeky at the Vanilla 90. Howie Sherlock at 100. That's a weird number. Did I get bonded him or something? Yeah, he's at bond too, huh? I just slapped him in the back row at some point. She's at 105. Are you kidding me? She's at 105. One of those I think was GSSR and one of those was a spook. She's at 185. Oh god, did I burn in Anastasia? There's no way. Oh god, Aerie would kill me. How is she at 185 though? Like that's a lot. Is she limited or story locked or something? Like goddamn. But yeah, I don't remember burning in Anastasia, but unless she could be in second storage. But okay, hold on. I gotta turn the screen off because you know recovery questions. But let me go take a peek. What's in my second storage? Okay, what do we got here? Okay, there are 2 Summer Kiaras, because of course. There are 2 Space Ishtars, gotta fuck off with that. And that is it for servants. No wait, there's one other, but it's not relevant. So yeah, if there were more Anastasias... How many Anastasias is that to get to 185? Yikes. Oh, right, I must have got... Oh, it's when I was rolling for a VC Braun. That's what it was. I was rolling for a VC Braun when he came out. That's definitely what it is. 2, and then... So it's 2, and then... So 1 got burned. Yeah, 1 got burned. Yeah, it's 2, and then the bond. That's where that comes from. Oh god, the weird thing, dude, when I look at some of my ult accounts, it gets wild because we got some stuff that I just forgot. I have 152 Medea coins, that's a lot, actually. Desire tax, indeed. I really wish, though, they would rate up something I, like, super wanted so I could get coup copies. Like, you need to add something that I want, like, you know, Green Knight, Henry V, something like that I go down to like 0 SQ. That way I get like a lot of shots at 2 copies. Okay, well, I don't want to wrap up the stream yet, so let's do at least something silly. Let's see here. There's not much to do with Grail Front now, but let's see. So this is the 7-wave one. That's kind of too long. Let's see. What we got here? My ult account has a lot more stuff available. I mean, there's always Richard. Yeah, we'll pay Richard a visit. I don't know how much I'm gonna like Ushi's uncle. I definitely want to get a copy of him, but the thing is, I highly suspect once these zoom out, he's gonna look kind of dumb. I have a feeling he's gonna have shoulder pads that go to the moon. He's gonna have like a weird ornament on his helmet. Right, so he might be standing on stilts like Ushi does. Like, he might be the whole like super heavy up top, tiny, teeny, thin legs, you know, that kind of thing. And that would just drop my interest in him so dramatically. Now, you know, character-wise, we'll see. But, I could easily see them making him look really stupid. Even though, like, his close-up as a story sprite looks pretty awesome, I think if you zoom out, it's gonna look really dumb. So, I'm not sure I'm actually gonna roll on him, at least not on my main. I might roll on an ult or something. We'll see. We'll just have to see the design. How many Burgess copies to 120 and 2 passives? Let's see. What is she? Is she limited or whatever? Or let me look. She is story locked, so she is worth more coins. So there's that. You're gonna need a lot. Let's see. She's worth what? Is she worth 60? Is she 60? I forget, because it's 30. It's 30 coins, right, for a 4-star that's vanilla, right? So she's either 45 or 60. 50. Oh, that's awkward. So she's worth 50 coins. So it's 120 for a passive, and then 30 per Grail. So you need a lot. So here's what you do. If you're on JP and you have Burgess, start working on Bond right now. If you're on NA and you're waiting for her to get added, just save every summon ticket, save every SQ, get as many copies as you can, and then get as much Bond as you can. Because yeah, unless you're whaling, that's going to be really difficult. But she does get more rate ups down the line without having to wait too long, so you'll have opportunities to really focus on it. If you're trying to get ultimate Burgess, you know, you actually have way better odds than most people. Like absolutely, if you're gonna be like the Burgess guy, she gets so many rate ups, and because she's worth more coins, as a free to play, you can do it. If you save it from now to then, you absolutely can do it. So you're actually in better shape than a lot of people if you're trying to go like ham. Because even if you don't get it all done in the first rate up, she gets other rate ups. Like she gets multiple other rate ups. So. Yeah, 4-stars are kind of a bitch, but again, she's story locked. That actually makes it easier. I feel so bad for people when their favorite character is an unlimited 4-star, because it's not consistent getting them as a spook at all, and then they're worth so few coins that it's just awful. All right, speaking of that rate up, there's Morgan. That is such a ridiculous Morgan. 120. Yang CE got the burn command codes on MP4. Look at this nonsense. Me, Tomoe fan, Saberlot, Luvia. Yeah, sucks, man. And then it's even worse for JP players because they got the coin system so much later, and you know, they didn't know to roll extra, and then they have less rate ups to pick from. So some people on NA are going to get bailed out because of that. Yeah, Virtua fans are way better off on NA than on JP, but it's bad either way. But Virtua fans got so screwed over. I mean, they got so fucking screwed over. She's worth barely any coins. No one knew to roll extra, right? And then you get no fucking coins, and then she like never gets rated up because she's unpopular. So like they got so screwed over. Let's be honest though, there's only 30 Virtua fans out there, so. Alright, what do we want to use here? I don't want to use something we don't use often. There's Mev. We don't use Mev often, but yikes. Also, she doesn't have good command codes equipped there. Mev would do alright here, though. She has a very good kit for the long run. All 30 of them are in chat. She's probably going to be more popular in NA. I don't know how to put this, but like... that kind of character is always less popular in JP. Like that. Now, any character of almost any archetype can get popular in any region based off, you know, context and like if they get screen time and like character development and all that kind of thing. But like the core archetype is just not that popular in Japan, and it is more popular in NA. Like absolutely. And then because she doesn't have screen time. That's the thing. So obviously that's going to make them less popular. I'm actually surprised though at how unpopular she is. It's kind of weird. That is a biggin. Too bad to the Saber boss, so we could use Arjuna against the Ghost, I suppose. Yeah, honestly, it's kind of nice when your third passive isn't good. Obviously it makes your unit weaker, but it makes your life a lot simpler. Oh, Don Quixote. We haven't used him yet at 10-10-10, so we need to do that if someone has one. Obviously not here, but so many I love X accounts, by the way. How did that happen? I mean, there's a reason to use Burgess against an alter ego. I can think of several reasons. First off, you know, alter ego is kind of a funky one to counter class, and there could be a gimmick where you need buff removal, and Burgess has incredibly good buff removal. Also, you've got, you know, the niches like the whole we've had, you know, Veach related content, right, with the beast type servant or non-human type servants, and she happens to be a servant that doesn't count as a human, right? Stuff like that. But yeah, just the fact that she has buff removal. You might fight an alter ego you need buff removal for, so then you actually, you know, you would do that. Now, her anti-alter ego is definitely her least important, right? The other two passives are more important, and the raw stats are more important. But it's nice to have, right? Also, if you're just like the Burgess guy, you want to solo with her or use her in challenge quests as often as possible. And because she has anti-alter ego, if there is an alter ego challenge quest or main story fight, it makes it more likely that you can use Burgess in it, so. And you just never know what's coming down the pipeline in the future, so. And that's true, you're probably not going to have a pretender. You're actually very unlikely to have a pretender, so. And again, if you just here's the thing, even if you've got like anti-caster on an archer, if it's your favorite unit, you eventually want to get it. Because if it's your favorite unit, you want to use them as often as possible, and it's more impressive if they beat a neutral class anyway. So you still want to get it. Like, yeah, it's lower priority, but it's still good to have. Or we were talking about Burgess, we could use Burgess on this boss, but it's honestly super easy for her. Like, this is such a long-term style fight, and she's so busted in that kind of situation. Oh man, I kind of want to do this because it's so vanilla. Obviously, if you were ever using Aussie in like a serious boss fight, you would have like command codes and stuff like that. But this is so vanilla, and we can kind of show off how nutty he is. I have no idea. I guess Atlas is really good since his buff. I mean, so is Anniversary Blonde though. Like, Anniversary Blonde's really good because when he crits, it's like nuts. Hold on, let me look at his kit nice and clear here. I'm not sure. I mean, default's not bad either. Like, default, Anniversary Blonde, and Atlas are all pretty viable here. Atlas seems good though because more up. So the one thing I wish we had was heal boost command code. That would be very powerful here. I mean, his skills are just so good. I feel like Atlas is the way to go. It's just Anniversary Blonde. If you can crit, oh my god, it's so good. I just remembered the buffed Aussies NP. What the fuck were they thinking with that? Why did they do that? Like, he's so busted as is, and they're like, oh yeah, let's have him reduce his own cooldowns. Fuck it. Whose fucking idea was that? Yeah, I do remember when Quetz and Aussie were about tied, but Aussie was maybe a little bit better because of the team stuff, but it was really close. And then, yeah, now Aussie is just so much better. Mine. God damn it, Ace. What have you done? Okay, we do that, and we don't really need to do the Brave Chain, so we can keep the Golem alive here. Dude, Scatfest though, it's good. That I remember that. That was damn good farm. I wish that had gotten a rerun because there was it was either Void Dust or Hero Proof or Bones. Like, you could get, I know you in some form or another. I think it was like one of the good bronze mats was in the shop. One of the good bronze mats was in the lottery, and then this meta stage dropped Hero Proofs. I remember that. So it was so good. Like, you could get all of the good shit. It's such a good event. Oh my god. And it was easy. I could 3-turn the best nodes so easy. I had like such an easy team to 3-turn it. And normally I don't care about that, but I wanted that farm so bad. I went pretty ham on it. Yeah, I wish I could do that event again, because that was like, that'd be so good for like the Steno account catching up, stuff like that. He needs to go. We have absolutely no Starge in here, but I need to do the least damage possible. That would be that. Yeah, I remember whatever wasn't in the shop in the lottery, there was a stage 4, but there was also hero proofs in the stage drop. So I remember you could like double up. The stage could drop hero proofs, and the lottery I think had hero proofs or something like that. Do I want overkill Stargens now or the extra Stella hit? Probably the extra Stella hit. So bang, bang, bang. Please don't crit with the Buster card, and then crit with the quick card. Although, that made it kill it, maybe that wasn't worth. I thought the crit on the extra wouldn't kill, but it's still more stars. Like a crit on quick is more stars than Stella hitting an extra target. Stella does okay though when you do get that, it needs a sweet spot. You want 3 enemies, and they need to have enough health to survive the first hit, and then have overcharge for the second hit. And then the second hit though gets the overkill bonus because the half health bullshit thing. So you hit 3 targets twice and you get overkill, and then you have Stargen up for Mirage. That actually can make Stella make an okay amount of stars. But that is a pretty specific circumstance that you're not going to get very often. So I actually think, let me think, do I throw out my skills now even though I'm going to whiff the heal and the battery? That's throwing a lot of value away. But it gives me the attack up, defense up. I think we wait the 1 turn. No, I don't. This is tough. Hold on. Let me think about this. I think we're gonna vanilla NP. We're gonna vanilla NP. Yes, we're gonna whiff the cooldown reduction, and that sucks. But I think we just throw it out. You know, we make the sun, which, by the way, it's so bullshit that they gave him that. But, yeah, we'll just do this, art, and then do everything else. You can do well in scat fast without a battery support. I actually 3-turned it without a battery support. I used, I can't remember what I did exactly. It involved Billy and Mordred, because Mordred could do big damage with her NP and big damage with her crit gimmick with her second skill. So it didn't matter which turn. She could crit clear the first big enemy, or because it's like 2 big enemies. And I think it's 1-1-2. You fight 1 enemy, 2 enemies, right? So Mordred could clear wave 1 or wave 2 when she got cards. It didn't matter which one. And then Billy could kill wave 1 or wave 2, and it didn't matter which one. And then Billy could clear wave 1 or wave 2 with his NP, and then Mordred could clear wave 3 with her NP. Now, you probably don't have Mordred and Billy, especially Billy Grail and stuff specifically, but you see what I mean, right? Like, I did like a Star Bomb on someone, Mordred had Star Bomb, I think I brought Anniversary Blonde, the Mystico, and that had Star Bomb. So on any turn I could crit, and if Billy gets card on turn 1, he can blow it up with crits. If Mordred gets cards on turn 1, she can blow it up with crits. If neither does, you can Billy NP on turn 1, and then now you're guaranteed, so one of them is going to be able to crit on turn 2, you beat it there, and then Mordred always NPs turn 3 because of her battery skill. And I think my other servant was just like Choco Jana or whatever, because she makes, you know, attack up, crit up, right? Which is actually really good there. I don't remember. But that's just an example, right? There's a million ways to do that stage, right? Where you don't need a battery servant to necessarily form good. There's a lot of options. I might have had Waver, though, just to bring like less starting NPCs or something. I don't remember. I think someone had like Golden Harp or some shit. I should have made a video of it, to be honest. I don't remember entirely. But yeah, there are absolutely ways to farm very quickly. And you got also, even if you 4-turn, if you can make a team that 4-turns without any RNG, that's fine. Like, 4-turning is not a big deal as long as it's clean. Sometimes a 4-turn is better than a sloppy 3-turn. Like, abso-fucking-lutely. Like, a clean 4-turn can absolutely be faster in the long run than a, like, random-as-fuck 3-turn. So don't stress, don't even worry about 3-turning, just worry about making a good, clean, easy setup, right? That's not gonna like stress you out or anything like that, so you can just like autopilot it if you're watching YouTube or whatever. That's the idea. Even if it's a 5-turn, it's not a big deal. Just make something that's, you know, clean. That's what you should worry about. People overhype 3-turning, honestly. Like just good drop rate, the ease, and you know, nice straightforward team. And you absolutely can do it without batteries. There's many ways to approach farming like that. Alright, now we fire everything. Shame that I can't NP right away to get that cooldown reduction. I'm gonna wait to use Atlas because you don't know how things are gonna get timed with your other abilities. Dude, he is so broken just inherently, but his synergy with command codes is unreal. Because you can be doing like extra star bombs to increase your crit and star absorbs. You can do heal boosts and then a heal, and he has his own heal skill. Like, his scaling with command codes is absolutely insane. Like, obviously all units are better with command codes, obviously, but he is disproportionately better with command codes. I kind of want to do art because our NP is so good, but I can't resist this damage. A lot of events you can't have drop CEs, but like lottery events, right, you get those. Yeah, obviously lots of events you don't have drop CEs. Damn it, we didn't crit with either. That didn't really make that turn worthwhile. How have we done this much damage already? That is, again, level 90, no command codes. We're not even using golden sumo chat. Now, I could use this right away, but I don't have this, which is a little unfortunate. We have the sun, so I definitely do this. What is going on? Can you imagine if we had like command codes and I had NP'd one more time, like how broken this would be? I'm gonna go ahead and use this. Just get lucky forehead, no big deal. Chat, imagine if I put Star Bomb like on our art cards, so we have higher crit chances than this. Any chance Beastly's in chat, or anyone with a good Aussie? We need to show this off with command codes. This is so absurd. I have to show this off with command codes. So if anyone in chat has a nice Aussie, let me know. I mean, look, what the actual fuck, dude? I guess I put art last in case the dragon buffs a lot, although it's guaranteed crit, so I guess I don't need to do that. By the way, we have 2 suns out. I don't know how that works, but that's the thing. I haven't. Oh yeah, Ace. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know you got one. Yeah, Ace. If you could like set them up all proper, right? Give them the good shit, and we can show up just how ridiculous it gets. And what's really messed up is normally you fall off after a bit, but because he keeps reducing his cooldowns, like, yeah, he slows down a little bit, but he never really slows down that much because his uptime on his skills is so good. I need to level up my Aussie, dude. What is going on? I can't believe it's not even that we're winning, right? Because obviously good units can win here at neutral. Right now, the medium ones don't, right? It's a tough stage at neutral, but I'm not surprised that he's winning, but we're winning so fast with such a vanilla setup. Like, that's crazy, dude. Imagine, we would have won. We would have won so quickly if we were counterclassing. This ended real quick. Alright, I guess we're not going to worry about NPing again. We're just going to try to finish it off now, so go for the crits. I really wish that had... Okay, I should have gone for the NP, because none of this is critting. 1 crit, I'll take that. Yeah, watch them just buff him again. Can you imagine? Yeah, Zeet the App are pretty much at the end here. I did misplay a little bit at the end, but it won't matter. My mistakes are not going to catch up with me here. Might make us win like a turn or 2 slower, but... Okay, I think we need here. We'll probably win next turn, because we have more stars now, we have the attack and everything, so we'll just bail out. And even if I couldn't kill it this turn, I can just invulnerability, it doesn't matter. Also, I like how the one problem Aussie has... Oh, this is such good synergy, chat. This is such good synergy. So, his one flaw is he doesn't have hard survival. He has loads of soft survival, so like surviving normal attacks is not a big deal, right? Because he's got heal, defense up, good uptime on them. You can work in heal boost, right? Super good, cooldown reduction, more healing. So his soft survival is actually exceptional. He has exceptionally good soft survival, but he has no hard survival. So an enemy that NPs multiple times is a problem. Because, you know, you can survive 1 with this, right? But then if they keep NPing, it's a problem. But he has NP seal. And if you have to, you can just focus on doing art cards a lot. And you can put Star Bomb on his art cards. and you just focus on NPing as often as possible, so you can do the NP seal as often as possible, and you get rewarded for that anyway because you'll get more cooldown reduction while you're at it. So that synergy of having soft survival and the flaw of no hard survival, but then you have NP seal, it's like, this is ridiculous. One of the only things he's weak to is a boss that is like designed around one-shotting you with like a crit, and they have like really good crit chance, and there are bosses like that. Because if a boss is like that, soft survival won't really help. Unless you have a crap load of it, which can happen. But if the boss is consistently throwing out like 10k, damage, his survivability doesn't help. Okay, so what are we working with here? We've got heal boost, star, okay. Can we get potentially a better buster, like maybe anti-dragon, just because, in case we don't crit? And I don't even know what that one is, I don't remember. But if you have like the anti-dragon one, or like the Ishtar one, that would be better. But that's still good, obviously. Alright, lower NP rank, but it's not gonna matter because everything else is so insane. Does he use Atlas? I don't even know. Like, Anniversary Blonde might be better because, he'll just do so much damage. I'll stick with Atlas though, because if we can double up on that Star Gen skill, it's really funny. So I think we want to do a lot of art cards, I feel like. Alright, give me 1 second, chat, because I'm a bit peckish. I need to grab a snack real quick. I'm gonna get like a granola bar here. Alright. The Ace said he's switching the command codes. Say that's too much power. You collected too many say emotes. Say, I'm curious. If I created a really good say emote, would that secure me a subscription for life? Hey, sir, thank you. Jesus Christ, sir. Thank you for the subs, dude. Thank you, dude. 5 gifted subs. I really appreciate it, man. You're too kind. It's 48 gifted subs total, man. That's nuts. I don't know what I would make a say emote. Have to be something, though. Alright, Ace is done. You don't have to refresh to get the command codes, they just update automatically. But I'm doing well, Zert. You know, we could probably get away with no starting NP CE. Because we're whiffing the battery anyway. Especially if Ozzy ever gets his passive for starting NP. God, he's so broken, because that's a positive. You want to be able to start without a starting NP CE if you can. You have no drawback. Because most units will have the drawback of not getting their NP when you want it. And you have to balance that. You have to balance that with the benefit of whatever the CE does. But Ozzy can probably do both. Unfortunately, the golems are falling like dominoes here. The song reminds me that I do need to play Neo 2 at some point. I really enjoyed Neo 1. Really, the only complaint I have about Neo is the enemy variety is not as good as it could be. Alright, it's not terrible, but by the end of the game, I actually feel like that game would be better if it was shorter because it doesn't have enough enemies to space out how long of a game it is. I want to do art, quick, NP, but I didn't. This is why I need another golem alive. Because if there was another golem alive, I could just blast that one, do the double star bomb, and then NP. But odds are I can't get away with doing 2 cards. Hell, if we crit, we're not gonna get away with 1 card. Suffering from success on that one. Yeah, I have no idea if it's good enough on the keyboard, but hopefully someone in chat can answer. I doubt it's amazing, right? Because games like that almost never are, but if they put a lot of effort into it, they can definitely make them serviceable. I mean, I don't really have any issues with the Switch, particularly. The main issue I haven't played Breath of the Wild is it just hasn't interested me very much. It just like that. Another thing is like there's just no enemy variety in that game, and like the combat system just doesn't look interesting enough. And okay, I gotta stress this. I don't like open world games. Elden Ring is an exception just because they did such a good job with it. I don't like open world games. I don't like exploration. It's a waste of time. I really stand by this. I think most exploration in video games is padding to make the game longer. It's not good content. It's not. Most open world games, you spend so much time running from point A to point B, and like, who gives a fuck, right? It's just such a goddamn waste of time. I do not get off on exploration, right? I find it very unrewarding, and I find it very tedious, and it feels like a chore, right? Not a fan. Now, open world games that are designed very well can make exploration fun, right? I have played games with exploration, open world or otherwise, that do make exploration fun, but it's rare. I generally find exploration to be, it's almost never a positive, right? Because even in Elden Ring, even though they did a great job with it, I don't really like that format more than the format of Dark Souls 3, so it's still not even really a positive. They just found a way to not make it a negative, right? Where I find it normally a negative. So it's like, I don't like exploration, so obviously open world games, not a big fan. And then it doesn't have good enemy variety. And let's be honest, Zelda is not Ninja Gaiden or Neo, right? So I don't really care about the Zelda universe very much, so I just don't have much motivation to play it. You know, maybe someday I'll do it as a one-off stream, but what'll end up happening is I'll just articulate what I just said in more detail, right? Like, it'll just be what I just said the stream, right? And I'm not sure that would be the best, but who knows, maybe it would surprise me and I'd end up enjoying it, but I've watched enough of it, like on stream, of other people playing it, that I don't really think I would enjoy it. But you never know. Someone just said something in chat that I wanted to respond to, and then I forgot. So, really good at, yeah, some people find it relaxing, and that's fine, but I just find it boring. I don't find being bored relaxing, right? When I want to relax, I'd rather play like EDF or Ninja Gaiden Black or Neo or you know, Vampire Survivors or something like that. I don't find watching paint dry essentially relaxing. That never really works for me. Yeah, I'm sure you could do things to spice up the combat system. Yeah, no, boy, I know you definitely find that relaxing, but yeah, I find stuff like that like relaxing. I find like Elden Ring relaxing, right? I find putting my brain to use for something else is relaxing to me, right? Like, I want to use my brain. It's not very distracting. Like, chat, if I'm doing something really boring, like watching paint dry, that's not distracting, and I'm just gonna think about like important real life shit or whatever. That's not very relaxing, right? I mean, Genshin is a mixed bag. I don't really like it for the most part. There's some good things about Genshin, you know, they had some good boss design. And they did an okay job with exploration because they made it interesting. At least at first, I feel like they're like, Mondstadt was good. I'll say that. Mondstadt was good. You find like that crazy dome where the dragon hung out, and that area is like crazy and fun to explore and stuff. And you have like these little puzzles here and there. That was all right. But, you know, again, not really a positive. It's just not a negative. But then it got pretty fucking tedious as the game went on, and then their Japanese zone was horrible and it was just garbage. You know, I like the core combat system well enough in Genshin, but overall, I don't want to talk about it. It would take a long time for me to critique all the things that I think are garbage in Genshin, and let's just not go there right now. Okay, let's see here. But yeah, open world aside, it doesn't have to be an open world game. It could be an RPG. generally exploration is one of my least favorite things in a video game. I don't find walking around and climbing rocks particularly fun. Now, of course there's exceptions, because when you think about it, a Mario game is exploration, technically, right? All you're doing is walking and jumping in the terrain, right? That's literally what Mario games are. And most Mario games are pretty fun, right? 2D or 3D. So obviously there's exceptions, but generally, if I'm playing an RPG, right? Like that's really different from an open world game. Although I guess an RPG could be open world too. But let's say I'm playing an RPG like Tales of or Final Fantasy or whatever the fuck. The things I care about at that point are going to be the characters, the story, and the combat system, right? I am not going to play an RPG for any reason other than those three. There's no fucking way, right? And sure, you have complementary things like the music and that kind of shit, but the core of what I care about, characters, story, combat. So if you're bad at those things, I'm not gonna like the RPG. No way. And the exploration is just in the way of doing combat, story, or character, right? So if I want to see more of the characters or see more of the story, or I want to get to the next boss fight, the last thing I want to do is go down 89 hallways to find all the side loot in whatever dungeon I'm in, right? I do not give a fuck about that, right? And I don't want to miss some important thing that like unlocks a cool combat ability because I didn't climb over every rock or go take every wrong turn and go backwards all the time. Like, it's so obnoxious. That's why I actually really dislike exploration like 90% of the time, because I have to waste an insane amount of time doing something to maximize what like you get out of the other systems in the game I actually care about. And I just like fucking bash my face into the desk all the time. I've never played Cuphead, but I would probably like it. I'm not gonna lie, the reason I haven't played it is just because my eyesight is so bad. I found historically I struggle with like bullet hell games because my eyesight just can't deal with it. But I enjoy them. So like if you sat me down and had Cuphead in front of me, I would try it and I would play it and I would probably have fun with it. But generally I struggle with those games just because of bad eyesight. But there's nothing wrong with the games. I enjoy those games just fine. And Cuphead is a masterpiece in terms of how they actually created that game and the presentation. It is truly a marvel because of that. It is so impressive what they did with Cuphead. And it's sad because what they did was unbelievably complicated and hard. It is fundamentally why animation is the hardest way to tell a story. And they decided to take animation and combine it with a video game. And that is just that you could not make a more time-consuming, a less cost-efficient thing, right? Like Cuphead was unbelievably uncost-efficient. They just made it that way because they had so much passion for it, right? So much fucking passion for it. But it literally made one of the most unique aesthetics in a video game that has ever existed. You're playing a cartoon, and that is quite the accomplishment. And can you imagine that? Because even though that's such an accomplishment, you may not like the aesthetic, and that's completely fair, right? Because you might not, because it's a very like old school Mickey Mouse kind of aesthetic, right? You might, even if you like animation and you like various animated things, you may not like that style, right? You may be like, it's not my style, and that's completely fair, right? But normally what you would say, like if you watched a cartoon or an anime or a movie that was animated, and it's not you don't like the art style, and you might just go watch something else, right? You could watch an equally masterful thing of a different art style generally, and there you go. There's nothing else but Cuphead, right? Like, good fucking luck finding another game that is ever going to put in that kind of... I just dropped a quarter, and I can't find it, and I'm mad because quarters are actually a good coin. Instead of these, and I literally got that quarter today because my change, I bought something and my change was 1 quarter, 1 nickel, and 1 dime. Of course, I threw the nickel away, of course, and I kept the dime and the quarter. And now I can't fucking find the quarter because I think it's like in my chair somewhere here. Oh, there it is. I got it. All right. Don't panic, chat. Don't panic. The quarter is back. It's all good. We didn't lose a valuable coin. Alright, so I guess I just vanilla NP again. I feel like that's just the way you open here. Unfortunately, chat, there are 2 nickels. Oh god, there are 4 fucking nickels on my desk. Okay, just get that shit out of here. No, get that out of here. But yeah, there are nickels in the vicinity. I blame Poi for this. I have done mean things to look. It's a reaction to look. I told chat. You don't understand how stupid this meme is. Like I cannot. So years ago, right? We're just shooting the shit, talking about dumb crap, right? Because like nothing was going on in FGO, because it's FGO, and I had just somehow we got on the topic of like food and then favorite coins or whatever. And I had just said, I like coins. I collect some rare coins just for fun on the side. I got some like neat rare coins, but I don't like nickels, right? They're really useless currency. They're tedious. They're very similar to a quarter, but they're like so much worse than a quarter, right? This is awful, right? So I just said that in passing. It wasn't even a big deal. And then chat is just like, how dare you? Chat's like offended that I don't like nickels. And then of course, all of a sudden, somehow 80% of my viewer base are all nickel fans, which is bullshit. That they were not nickel fans. They just adopted it because I don't like it, right? It's like look at our Discord. I say stop pointing down, and everyone points down, right? You're fucking bunch of contrarian little shits. Think you're so clever, chat. And so now my chat is just obsessed with nickels for some fucking reason, because in passing I said I didn't like nickels, but I mean I really don't, and it's pretty fair. And I'm really happy the Phantom guy that does everything with Phantom of the Opera, he also doesn't like nickels. And for very similar reasons that I don't like nickels, because he has taste, chat. You see, he has see, look how childish you're being, chat. You think you're being so smart. I'm gonna give this streamer a nickel. Okay, you're so clever. All right. Do this and this. Look at that giant fucking heal. I don't know if I Atlas just because it's kind of unpredictable where the stuff is going to end up. Unfortunately, we did not make a lot of stars last turn, so we will. You know what, chat? I'm gonna take one turn where I don't like focus on DPS. I'm gonna try to get my MP really fast, and then we can do star bombs while we're at it. This is probably the only turn that I'm going to do this, and if it results in me getting my NP, I think it's the correct call. I'm not sure it's gonna happen. It's kind of up to what Richard does. Richard, give me a come on. No! Crit me. You gotta crit me. It's the only way. Crit. Come on. Shit. Well, that was not worth it, because I could have done the same thing. If I'm going to take 2 turns, I could have done a different combo, but, oh well. I guess we do art. No, I kind of want to do quick just to make stars again. Man, I so wish I got my MP there. That'd have been, god damn it, that'd have been great. Like Buster right now, or even the art would be good. I could do 60, 80, 100. Yeah, I guess take the crits while we got them. Or not. 75k at neutral, that's a reasonable thing we just did. Actually, the 90 Aussie was ahead of us right now, but he didn't do quick art like I did, so. Alright, NP, and I think art, as nice as a Buster chain is, I think, I actually think we don't want the heal boost. I think we want double star bomb on our art cards. We're not getting pushed enough on survivability. Yes, it's impressive that we can heal boost and just like stay at, really high health and all that, but I think we actually want to just completely focus on the, I think the meta is you do star absorb on like a Buster card and then double star bomb on the art cards. But maybe not the star absorb, because art crits are good too. I really don't like using Atlas here because I'm whiffing a bit, but it's nice to get all that stuff out this turn. Man, if you optimize your NPs, you could win this so fast. There's no way I'm playing this correctly, but you can definitely win this super quick if you've got the right setup and you pick the right cards. It's kind of interesting though, he has so many options in front of him, it's kind of hard to figure out what's the right thing to do. Yeah, the music, I think, is losing there. We'll go with... Oh, here we go, some Vampire Survivors music. That's some good stuff. So, because Vampire Survivors sold so well, and it has like affected the industry a lot. There's a lot of like copycats coming out, and that's fine. You know, when there's a popular genre or a new type of game or anything like that, or just an old game that becomes popular again, of course you're gonna have that kind of thing. That's fine. You know, first-person shooters got popular because of Doom, and it became a whole thing, right? That's fine. Not a big deal. But anyway, the thing is, Vampire Survivors is so like liked and did so well, and it's so cheap that anybody that makes a game like it right now basically has to sell it for like $5 or less, because right now no one will buy it. Now eventually the genre will probably get flushed out enough that won't happen. But yeah, because of that, anyone that makes a game like it literally has to sell it for crazy cheap, because Vampire Survivors is only $3. I will say, I really like though that 20 Minutes Till Dawn, because they basically took Vampire Survivors and they're like, okay, but let's make everything skill-based, right? And it's like all, you know, you're aiming all the time and all that kind of, and I really like that. Actually, I enjoy it quite a bit. The only issue I have with 20 Minutes Till Dawn is there's not as much content, right? There's less enemies, there's less stages. You know, it's very basic. Now it's in early access, so hopefully they'll fix that, but I do like the premise actually more than Vampire Survivors. Okay, we NP here. I guess just art. Yeah, art for days. Try to get those crits. Although if you keep arting, you're not actually doing damage. Well, I mean, we are, but not as much. I know they changed the color options recently, so not everything looks the same. That was definitely a problem. But they changed the floor to be like black, and that helps quite a bit. But like the premise of 20 Minutes Till Dawn, I actually love to death. If they could, what will make that game amazing is if they make more stages that really change up what you're doing, right? Like you're working through like a hallway or a maze, or like, you know, gimmicks where there's like enemies like across water and you can't walk close to them and shit. Things that will really change what you're doing, that could make that game really good. Because, you know, obviously, you know, those kind of top-down bullet shooters can be fun in any genre, and then you add like the survivability and like difficulty aspect and all that. I think you've got something really fun there. Okay, would art be enough? If we crit, probably. I'm just trying to actually get our NP again. Man, if I had not messed up that first NP, like if I'd gotten it that turn early, probably win this turn. Also, we missed a lot of crits, so if I'd crit a little bit more, not a lot more, but just a little bit more, and then I'd gotten that NP, I think we would win on this turn right here. It's nuts. Yeah, we don't need the heal boost then. You want pure violence, because you can win so quick anyway. Alright, I guess we try to set up to win next turn, so we want to do BBB next turn, so it's all about stars here. I definitely could have won on this turn. I'm very confident in that. And honestly, if you got really min-maxing with the CE, the command codes, lucky with crits, make all the right decisions, you could probably win a turn sooner than that. We don't have our buff, unfortunately, and we didn't land the attack buff, but oh well, hopefully that's enough to... I'm ready to zeet the app. Yep, thank you for reminding me. I'd be so pissed off if we ever lost this stage. I'd still have it on NA, but app to zeet. This poor dragon. I mean, he's still alive, because he got the debuffs. If we don't crit, he might live, but if we crit, I'm pretty sure he's dead. He actually might be dead anyway because of the extra attack. I don't know if we have the extra attack passive or not, but wow, we didn't crit with fucking anything. Okay, he might live, which is a little disappointing. How unfortunate. So if we had landed the attack buff earlier, which is 60% chance, we would have killed. If we crit with anything, we would have killed. If we high rolled, like the highest high roll we could, we probably would have killed. So there was a lot of things that could have happened there to allow us to hold by then. So not the best performance, to be honest. Well, actually, it's an amazing performance. It's not the best in comparison to what we had just done. Let me put it that way. We can definitely do better than that, but we'll deal with that later. All right, boys, I think we'll wrap up there. That was really fun. A little quick side Aussie showcase there. really need to use him more. He is so good. Anyway, boys, thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Need to do some Arc Night soon because we're still just on Chapter 8 and that shit's a nightmare. But I think I'll just take the rest of the night off. But let's raid Cairo because he raided us. So Cairo, what I'm telling you is to go stream something for like 20 minutes to give chat something to do. Yeah, go stream EDF, right? There you go. But yeah, go get Cairo. I will see you guys later and take care.